We welcome you to Justin F. Caressel Stadium at Tinora High School for week number 7 of the high school football season. And it is a warm first Friday of October. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you here at Justin F. Caressel Stadium as we get a look down on the field. Scoop, homecoming night here tonight. Anytime you schedule homecoming in October, you roll the dice. But I'm telling you what, it's a beautiful, beautiful night here tonight.
Well, whoever made that call looks like a genius right now because you could not dial a nicer night here. And what a great atmosphere here at Caressel Stadium, as you mentioned, Josh. Tinora, man, they've got everybody in town here tonight. And, of course, Wayne Trace typically travels well, as you can see. So I think we're going to have a great game. This is the 54th meeting between these two rivals. And right now, a lot on the line here, especially as far as playoff scenarios. Both these teams really need to win to really put themselves on the radar for getting one of those 12 playoff spots in Division 6.
Our pregame show tonight, courtesy of Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Find them online at drivebobestil.com. As Scoop said, 54th meeting between Wayne Trace and Tinora. Kickoff coming up for you at 7 o'clock. We'll get you set with the rest of our pregame show next right here on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestil.com.
Welcome back to Justin F. Caressel Stadium. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you here. Week number 7 of the high school football season as the Tinora Rams welcome in the Raiders of Wayne Trace. As we start to break down these two teams, Scoop, let's start with the Tinora Rams. 2-4 on the season, 2-1 in the Green Meadows Conference for third-year head coach Eric Becker. Career record of 16-12. Losses this season, I'll tell you what, to a 6-0 Liberty Center team. They lost to Archbold, who's 5-1. They lost to Fairview, who's 5-1. Last Friday night, got a win over Antwerp, 42-12, and you could see them start to settle in a little bit last Friday night. And this is a team, again, last year they opened up, tough schedule, 0-3, ran the table into GMC. This year, not quite on par with that, but still bouncing back after that tough start.
Well, you make a great point, Josh, the fact that they start out 0-3, and then what they do, they run the table in GMC, pick up another conference championship. So this may be a different team this year. They do have some new faces out there, but you know Tinora football, these guys are going to battle. They have a 30-23 series advantage against Wayne Trace, and Wayne Trace knows they have a monumental task coming here to win. The last time the Raiders won here in Jewel was 20 years ago, so they've had some struggles here trying to find a way to win. But the one thing about tonight, Josh, I think Wayne Trace comes in here optimistic. If they play well, they've got a chance to go home with a W.
Well, for Tinora, Owen Farrell, who when we were here a couple of years ago had just kind of taken over that starting role, playing very well, over 1,300 yards on the season, his 13 TDs. If anything, on the negative side, 9 interceptions this season. But they're going to look to his leadership offensively to get things going for the Rams.
Well, you're exactly right. They're going to be pass heavy here tonight. They're missing one of the running backs. I think that's going to play in a little bit. But if you know Owen Farrell, well, he's a gunslinger back there. He's going to throw the football. He's not really a guy that's going to beat you with his legs, but he has the ability to be awfully good as a quarterback. He just has to make those right reads. You mentioned the only blemish really are those 9 interceptions. So that's something they've been working on. He can clean that up. He's going to put a lot of pressure on this Raiders secondary here tonight.
Well, he's got some good receivers to throw to. Josh Lieb, Owen Reynolds, Dylan Schaffel. I mean, there's a nice core of guys out there, very athletic on the outside that he can target it on these offensive series.
Well, he really can. And again, he's throwing at over 60% accuracy clip. So they've got a lot of receivers to go to. Some of those guys got some large frames as well. So yards after catch, I think, could be a premium tonight. But certainly they're going to be pass heavy tonight. How well that secondary of the Raiders can respond will probably be the key to tonight's outcome.
Well, I had an opportunity earlier this week. In fact, we were here for volleyball back on Tuesday night. I had an opportunity to sit down and chat with the Tinora head coach, Eric Becker.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestil.com.
Welcome back to our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Josh Bush, as we sit down with Tinora head coach Eric Becker. First of all, Coach, great to see you. And, well, here we are. Can you believe it? October is finally here. Seems like it was just summer a few days ago.
Yeah, season's flown by. Can't believe it's week 7 already. So appreciate you guys coming out, broadcasting. Hopefully it'll be a good game.
Well, let's talk about last Friday night. Nice solid win for you guys at Antwerp. Talk about what you saw last Friday night.
You know, there was a lot of heart with the kids. You know, we started out quick and then turned around and gave up a long touchdown pass, and it kind of took the wind out of their sails a little bit, took us a little bit to get back in it, and that's kind of been the team's MO all year. You know, come out slow to start third quarter, and then we turn around and go down and score, and then we get a pick, and you can just see the change in them, and they just started firing on all cylinders for the last quarter and a half and pulled away. So really proud of them.
Well, as we get to this point, you mentioned week 7 already. Let's take a look, I guess, kind of rewind a little bit. Think back week 1, week 2. What's 1 or 2 spots that this team has really improved on? And I know that's a thing with the coaches, right? We want to get better every single week. We'll get to the things we don't like yet. Okay, we'll get there. But let's start with 1 or 2 areas that you feel like this team has really come and improved on since like week 1 or 2.
You know, I think it's hard looking at it. The O-line, I think, had the biggest growth from week 1. It's kind of been shuffled a little bit due to injuries here and there. But you know, the run game is coming along, and you can see it, and they're getting a push. And, you know, I'm really proud of those guys. There's 3 new starters up there, and we knew it was going to take some time in going against some pretty good fronts. You know, and then the running backs, it doesn't matter if it's Cooper or Abram or Doug, you know, when they get their shot, they go in and take full advantage of it.
Let's flip that over, and every coach knows there's always something to work on, right? 1 or 2 spots that maybe you're not where you thought you might be, or some things that you're still keying on with these guys.
You know, that's I would just say, you know, Coach Helton does a fantastic job with our defense, but our defense is just a little bit behind, I think, where we would like it to be in a whole. I don't want to single any kids out in positionally. I think the defense in whole of getting them to learn our brand of football it's coming along. It's coming along a little bit slower than we thought it was.
Well, you know, it's one of those things now. You got game film for a few weeks. You can look at those, and you know how important it is it for you to be able to get some of these, especially upperclassmen, going, hey, let's help these younger guys identify those things, because those are the things we're keying on to work on every week.
You know, and that's the unfortunate spot we're in is we won't have 5 seniors. So, you know, that group is doing a fantastic job of trying to get the younger guys involved in understanding the keys in the film and everything. It's just when you had 2 coaches tell me when you're playing underclassmen, every underclassman you start, you probably expect a loss. And it's no fault of their own. They're just inexperienced. And, you know, my philosophy is why not let them get the game reps? If they're going to learn, let them learn in full speed, and nothing's better than a game rep.
Absolutely. Got to keep working each and every day. Well, it's this Friday night. You've got Wayne Trace, another GMC team. Record aside, this team that's fought through some pretty tough games. You're no stranger to that, but this team that's fought through some pretty tough games to start the season.
I'll probably say it for the rest of the year. The teams that we play that don't have a winning record, Wayne Trace is one of them. The way they play is not indicative of what their record is. They rally to the ball really fast on defense. Defense, kind of like us, has been their curtain call for years. Looks like they want to run the ball really good. So, you know, it's going to be a hard-fought game Friday night. Nothing but respect for them and what they do over there.
I know this is kind of a cliche thing, but when you get into battles like this, how important is it for you guys to get off to a good start on Friday?
We got to come out fast. I think the games that we come out fast, you know, it looks good, and the end result has been good. So that has been the message all year: is play 4 full quarters. We kind of hit some lulls here and there, and you know that is probably due to playing so many underclassmen. But as the year goes on, it's getting better. So we got to come out fast and stay on top of it.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us. Stick around. More to come with our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show when we return right here on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Welcome back to Justin F. Kressel Stadium as you see the crowning of the King and Queen, and congratulations to Abram Jimenez, the homecoming king, and Christina Myers, homecoming queen here tonight for Tinora. So always a fun night when you see these kids out there.
Well, it is, and well attended tonight here at homecoming, and a lot of smiles on the faces all the way around. I see a couple football players there on the King's Court, so to speak, down there on the sideline here for the pregame festivities. But it's going to be all business here in just a couple minutes here once they tee it up here, because again, this is the great rivalry that goes way back. I think the first time they met maybe in 1974. I know it's been a while ago, but it's been a great rivalry mentioned. But in the last, let's say this century, Josh, Tinora has dominated Wayne Trace. I think they're
six straight, 11 out of the last 12.
Yeah, and 23 of the last 26. So wins have really been at a premium here for Wayne Trace. But as we've mentioned, I think Wayne Trace has to be feeling good. They knocked off a 5-1 Edgerton team. They had a slow start, too. They had a very tough schedule, very similar to what Tinora went through in that non-league portion. So they're starting to get a little confidence. They're starting to put the pieces together. We're going to see a second-week quarterback in Carter Clemens here tonight. So that might be a piece they're starting to figure out as well. And they may go with Clemens here tonight.
Well, let's talk about the Wayne Trace Raiders. They come in with a record same as Tinora, 2-4. 2-1 in the Green Meadows Conference. Fifth year for Matt Holden, who has a career record of 19-28. You mentioned it. Their losses this season to a 4-2 New Bremen team, a 5-1 Crestview team, 6-0 Paulding, and then they got a win last Friday night. You mentioned it over Edgerton, 35-28. Or excuse me, 2 weeks ago over Edgerton, 35-28. I think that kind of shocked everybody. But this is a Wayne Trace team. Even those losses, they have really hung with some teams. Scores may not say that on the when you look at it, but this team that fights every single game.
Well, they do. I saw them early on week 2 when they hosted Crestview. Crestview off to a 5-1 start, very talented team, and I really saw some positive that night. They came up short on the scoreboard, but again, they've got some athletes there. It's a matter of finding the right pieces. And Josh, I think we have to look no further back than a year ago, when these two teams hooked up in Haviland. Ended up a huge win for the Rams, 3-0 in overtime. And that was a game that Wayne Trace had chances to win. And again, Wayne Trace last year, they were just 4-6 overall. And Tinora, as we mentioned, ran the table in GMC. So that one still is probably stinging on the Wayne Trace sideline. So that's going to be a point of emphasis. Hey, we need to redeem ourselves from a year ago. We need to make sure we finish off drives. Boy, they had a couple opportunities in the red zone last year. They come up empty, and Tinora won that thriller there, 3-0.
36-yard field goal at overtime by Jacob Bishop to win that one. But we look at Wayne Trace. They like to run the football. You mentioned they're on quarterback number 2 this season. Carter Baumley leading the way in the backfield. He's a force to be reckoned with back there. He does a lot of nice things out of the backfield.
Yeah, he really does. That's going to be a key, how well they can contain here tonight.
Well, let's take another timeout on our Estill Chevrolet. Check that. It's our national anthem, courtesy of Defiance County Veterans Office. We'll send it down to the field. Our national anthem, courtesy of the Defiance County Veterans Office, proud to support our local veterans and their families and connect them with the resources that are available to them. We'll take another time out on our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show when we come back. Keys to the game. We'll get you your starting lineups and opening kickoff on the way. Week number 7, it's Wayne Trace and Tinora right here on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Welcome back to Tinora High School Justin F. Cressel Stadium as we are set for week number 7. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you here on our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Time for our keys to the game, courtesy of Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu. Scoop, let's talk Wayne Trace first, the visitors for the Raiders. What do they have to do here tonight to get a win on homecoming night?
Well, first and foremost, they have to take care of the football. The Raiders come in -7 in turnover margin. They also have fumbled the football 13 times where they recovered it. So they're going to have to do a really good job of protecting the football and not giving Tinora a short field. I think another key tonight for the Raiders, Josh, they have to limit that big play. They have to keep Tinora in front, not allow them to go over the top. We mentioned what a special quarterback Owen Farrell is, so I think you've got to keep everybody in check in front. Don't give up that big play. If you do that, you've got a chance to do something you haven't done in 20 years, and that's get a win right here in Jewel.
For the home team tonight, the Tinora Rams, Scoop, what's on your radar for these Rams tonight to get a win over Wayne Trace?
Well, I think they have to be multidimensional, and that may be a tough task with Replogo out tonight, their main running back. So, again, we know that Farrell is going to be pass-heavy. We've already established that, but I think they have to sprinkle in enough runs to maybe keep that Wayne Trace defense honest and not allow them to drop extra guys into the secondary where turnovers and interceptions have plagued the Rams this year. And I think the other key, Josh, for the Rams, they have to get off the field on third down. Wayne Trace is the team that loves to grind things out. They love to control that time possession. So when you get an opportunity to get off the field on third down, you have to cash in. And if the Rams can execute in those areas, they can pick up their 7th consecutive win against the Raiders here tonight.
Our keys to the game, courtesy of Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit them online at northweststate.edu. 54th meeting between these two teams. Tinora leads the series 30-23. As we take a look, we'll start to get our players out here, but Scoop, as you saw earlier, Tinora won the toss here. They deferred, so we're going to see what the Wayne Trace offense has to offer up first here tonight.
Yeah, I think, it's a 48-minute game, but I think the first impression is going to be big. I think you have to establish some confidence, momentum on your side. And we talked about Wayne Trace. They really want to control the time possessions. I think the opening series is going to be important for both teams. And getting back to this rivalry, Josh, you talked about this being the 54th meeting. Remember, the last 3 have all been within a touchdown. We talked about that 3-0 overtime win by the Rams a year ago in Haviland. But 2 years ago, right here in Jewel, the Rams picked up a very tight win, 21-13. Against the Raiders, and then 3 years ago it was 13-6 Tinora. So Tinora certainly knows these guys are going to battle. So again, I think it's going to be important for both these teams. You can't take plays off. You got to grind out the full 48 minutes.
Well, we were here 2 years ago for that matchup, and boy, that came right down to the wire. And this has kind of been the, I guess you want to say, the earmark of what this rivalry looks like. Overtime last year. Field goal, the only score. You get close games. This is always a fun night. And like you mentioned, this is a big game for both of these teams. Obviously, GMC title aside, but right now teams are you're getting to that spot, Scoop, where everybody's watching the numbers and everybody's looking to see, okay, what can we pull in off this win and that win. Everybody's got them, the guys that crunch the numbers. Both these teams right now on the outside looking in if it ended today, but they've got some points to make up in the next few weeks.
Well, and they certainly can do it. Right now in the rankings, Wayne Trace 16th and top 12 make the playoffs, so they're outside looking in, as you mentioned. And Tinora 18th, but again, there's still 4 weeks of the season to go. So right now, just like Tinora, they can control their own destiny in the GMC. They just got to take care of business. The goal this week is to go 1-0. They'll have their hands full. And as we get ready to kick things off here at Justin Caressel Stadium here in Jewel.
Our opening kickoff tonight, courtesy of Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union, as it'll be teed up at the 40-yard line, and we are underway. Week number 7, Wayne Trace and Tinora. It'll be Whitman with it at the 10. He'll come back across the right hash, out across the 20, and we've our first penalty marker of the night, and that will be, I'm going to guess, Scoop, it looks like this one might be coming back.
Yeah, it's this stage of the game, you don't want to see penalties, especially on the opening kickoff. But multiple flags thrown right away. It looks like that one may end up going half the distance to the goal.
I think it might be a block in the back if I saw that right. Yep, block in the back against Wayne Trace on that return. So we have our first Service Master Restore penalty of the night.
Well, credit Parker Hancock, a really strong kickoff that Wayne Trace bobbled at the 10-yard line. And after the penalty, Wayne Trace will start just inside their own 10-yard line.
We'll get our Wayne Trace starting offense in just a minute. They're led by their senior quarterback, Carter Clemens, who stands in shotgun formation. He'll have a single back to his left, 2 receivers to the near sideline. Now they get motion, and a false start already, and that's going to be the second penalty already, a Service Master Restore penalty against Wayne Trace. We'll take a look at our starters, so the offensive starters for Wayne Trace. Our starting lineups are courtesy of Baker Schindler Company, again led by their senior quarterback Carter Clemens, who in only his second start. The running backs, Carter Baumley and Lance Whitman. The wideouts, Clay Stoller, Zach Stoller, who's 6'7", and the tight end, Eric Reinhardt. They'll run it on first down and 15, and this will just be a little quarterback draw up the left side. He'll get out to about the 10-yard line. Not much there, but nice job defensively by Tinora.
Yeah, it really was. A good surge up front, a gain of 3 yards that time by Clemens. But again, they're behind the chains right now, looking at 2nd and 12 after 2 costly penalties here before the Raiders could take a snap.
2nd down and 12, ball spotted at their own 12-yard line. Opening minute of our ball game here tonight. Motion from that far sideline. It'll be a little jet sweep, as this will be Baumley with it, and he'll be wrapped up after a gain of about 3 or 4. But not much going there on the ground for these first 2 downs for Wayne Trace.
Yeah, right now they've had positive yardage, but when you get behind the chains off schedule early, you've got to get more than those 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust. So right now, Wayne Trace looking at 3rd and 8. And what you would think would be a throwing down here for the Raiders.
Clemens only thrown the ball 8 times. Again, his I believe his second week as the starting quarterback. He'll roll to his right. He's looking to throw, pressure coming. He'll toss it across the middle. He's got a wide open receiver out across the 30. That's Clay Stoller, the senior wide receiver. And Scoop, that was a nice job by Carter Clemens to kind of spread that out a little bit, buy some time, and he finds a wide open Clay Stoller.
Yeah, it was a very impressive play that time by Carter Clemens, because he had a chance to run for a few yards, but he wanted to get the first down. Did a great job staying patient. And he finds Stoller there for a huge 3rd down conversion, first down of the night.
This will be a double misdirection here, and that'll be Whitman with it. They handed it off to Baumley, who gave it to Whitman. Little misdirection, inside trap there for Whitman. He's going to gain a couple, but with a little extra motion in there, trying to confuse the Rams defense.
Yeah, this is what the Raiders like to do. You know, they like to really pound it on the ground. They love that 3 yards in a cloud of dust, try to control the time of possession. And there they get a healthy pickup of a good 3 yards on first down to stay on schedule, looking at 2nd and 7.
Motion again from that far sideline, and they'll give it to Baumley on 2nd and 7. He's going to trip at the line of scrimmage and fall down. They say he probably lost a yard. And I don't know if the grass is a little extra long here tonight, but just kind of tripped up in the backfield.
Yeah, I think his own man that time, they kind of got their feet tangled up. Ends up going down. That's too bad there for Wayne Trace, because it looked like he was going to have enough room there to get 3 or 4 yards, kind of stay on schedule. But now for the second time during this drive, the Raiders looking at 3rd down and 8.
Their own 37-yard line. Empty backfield with Clemens. And motion from that far sideline again. He'll roll to his left, and he will complete the pass out across the 40 near the first down sticks, and it'll be a first down again. He finds the senior Clay Stoller. Came in, Scoop, 12 receptions. He's got 2 already here tonight, and those are 2 big third down receptions for Clay Stoller.
Yeah, he averages 12.7 yards per reception, so he's kind of been right on schedule right there. Both those are receptions for 10-plus yards, and as you mentioned, both on third and long. So how about Wayne Trace? You know, even when they've had to be one-dimensional, they've come out and executed. Great job by Clemens once again as the Raiders have a first down in Ram territory at the 49-yard line.
Empty backfield, trips to the right for Clemens. He'll take the snap, and it's a design run right up the middle. He'll be hit and dropped. A nice job there by Kobe Bum, the junior linebacker. Read that very, very well, Scoop, and just shot that gap and limited that to maybe a short game, maybe about 1 yard.
Yeah, that's a huge play by Bum because I really thought they had the right play called. If Bum doesn't shoot into that gap, boy, that's going to be a huge pickup on first down. Instead, a gain of just a yard. So great job there by Bum and that Ram defense to bring up a second long here for Wayne Trace.
They'll look to the sideline for the play. Single back in the backfield to the right of Clemens. On second down and 9, and he'll just throw this one quickly, a little extension of the run game to Whitman, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down. Owen Reynolds, the sophomore safety for the Tinora Rams, out there quickly, read that play, and nice tackle out there. Wrapped him up, didn't let him get it, and get a few of his friends over there to help out.
Yeah, that was textbook. It looked like that's one of the things you kind of go over in the film room. He saw it coming and was flying to the football. And then he did the right thing there, did a nice job of getting him low, making a nice wrap-up. No yards after the catch to be had. Going to bring up another third and long here for Wayne Trace. This time 3rd and 10. Ball just inside Ram territory.
Single back at the backfield to the left of Clemens on 3rd down and 10, and he'll roll to his left. I think they had some motion on that front line again, and that's another penalty. It's another Service Master restored penalty. That's the 3rd of this first 5 minutes, Scoop, for the Wayne Trace Raiders.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because, when you get to week 7, you hope to have all those things kind of out of your system. But instead, as you mentioned, 3 penalties now for 20 yards. And that's really going to put the Raiders behind the chains, looking at 3rd down and 15 this time from their own 46-yard line.
Clemens is with a single back to his left again in the backfield, and he'll roll to his left, looking to throw. And he'll unload this one down the left side into double coverage, and this will be in and out of the hands. Well, I'll tell you what, Josh Lieb, the junior linebacker, was coming over to help on that side, and Clemens is lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Yeah, great coverage that time by Josh Lieb, the junior, and also Garrett Sheets, the freshman that time. They had him sandwiched pretty well. That time the Raiders just trying to take a vertical shot, kind of throwing a jump ball up there. Great coverage there by the Rams.
Well, I like
After
the
2 first downs, Wayne Trace will punt it away.
Well, I like the idea there. They sent junior wide receiver Zach Stoller out there, 6'7" Scoop. This is going to be a high, short kick. It'll hit at the 30-yard line and go out of bounds for Reese Moorhead. And the sophomore is probably going, that's not what I was hoping for. But
probably not. But Tinora will take it here, and they'll have a little shorter field than what the Raiders looked at. The Raiders start out just inside their own 10. It looks like Tinora will start out their opening drive from their own 28-yard line. And that, 26-yard punt, no return by the Raiders.
Let's get our starting lineup for the Tinora offense. Starting lineups courtesy of Baker Schindler coming. They're led by their junior quarterback, Owen Farrell. 1,330 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions on the season. He's got some wideouts to go for. Dylan Schaffel, Owen Reynolds, Parker Hancock, Josh Lieb have been his favorite targets so far in this season. So we'll see what they draw up here on 1st down and 10. He'll stand in shotgun formation. He's got a single back behind him, and it'll be a give on 1st down. Just lowers the shoulder. That's Josh Lieb who will fall forward, and that's a nice, strong run for Josh Lieb, the junior.
Yeah, it really was. So important to control 1st down, and that time Lieb was able to go right up to shoot there, pick up 7 yards there on the first carry of the night for Tinora. So right now looking good here at 2nd and short here. Ball out near the 35-yard line.
Four receivers for Owen Farrell. Trips to his right. Single back behind him in a pistol type of look, and they'll hand it off again. This will be left side, and he lowers the shoulder for the first down. And that was Doug Hattemer who came in for Tinora, and nice job there by Doug Hattemer. Again, you mentioned it, Scoop. Cooper Raplogel, their leading running back, out this week, but looks like they've had two nice solid runs here on the first two downs.
Well, they have. Unfortunately, this one's going to come back as Laundry hit the field, and that's going to be a hold. That's going to move that football back 10 yards. So that's going to throw Tinora off schedule a little bit, looking at 2nd and 13. But you're right, Josh. I like how they're trying to establish that run. I think that's going to be important, as we mentioned in the keys. I think they have to be multi-dimensional and keep that Raider defense honest.
6:08 to go, opening quarter, scoreless here. 2nd down and 13 for Tinora, back at their own 25-yard line after the penalty. Farrell in shotgun formation, and he'll be back to throw for the first time tonight. All kinds of time. He'll go to the right side, and that'll be up and grab. Owen Reynolds, the sophomore, 6'2". He used every bit of that and more. That's a gem right there, Scoop.
That's a big-time play by the sophomore Reynolds, who leads the Rams. That's his 25th reception of the season. And maybe none more impressive than that one. That was a great set of hands. He had to really go upstairs to catch that football, took a shot, hit the turf hard, but not before a first down and a fresh set of downs at the Ram 47-yard line.
Trips to the left for Farrell, single back behind him, and they'll give it to Hattemer right side. He'll spin forward for a couple, but not much there. Give credit to the Raider defense. Kane Mansfield, the sophomore nose guard, coming off the bottom of that pile. That's a big, big guy down there, and nice job of wrapping up Hattemer as he hit the hole.
Yeah, it was. And again, as we all know, football games are typically won in the trenches, so it's going to be really important for Wayne Trace to get off the football, get that little push in the backfield, try to get a little pressure on Owen Farrell. Bring up 2nd down and a long 8 here for the Rams.
Shotgun formation again, and it'll be another handoff right side. This is going to be hit and dropped in the backfield as Hattemer. Nice job there for Wayne Trace as Lance Whitman, the senior, came off that one, and we just came up and laid the wood.
Well, anybody that's paid attention to Northwest Ohio football certainly knows the name Lance Whitman. At that time, boy, that's a textbook tackle right there. I mean, he kept the head up, solid hit there, wrapped up. And there were no yak yards to be had after that hit. Big-time hit there by Whitman. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 8 here for Tinora. Trying to extend this drive.
Trips to the left. Farrell in shotgun formation again. Looking to throw. Pressure coming. He will elude the first man. And he's buying some time, but he's running out of green, and he'll throw this one away. Nice job on the backside pursuit there. And that was Jensen Binding, the sophomore for Wayne Trace, and boy, he just did not give up on that play. And again, Farrell just kind of ran out of space here on the near sideline.
Well, Binding's the name you're probably going to hear a lot tonight. He leads the Raiders in sacks, and that time really flushed Farrell out of the pocket. That time, just a good incomplete pass by Farrell, not trying to force something, running for his life that time. But that time, a good stop on 3rd down for the Raiders. Tinora will punt it away from their own 49-yard line.
Parker Hancock back to punt, a high end over and kick. Fair catch called for by by Clay Stoller back near the 20-yard line. That's a nice high kick from Parker Hancock, Scoop. He comes in averaging about 30 yards a punt. That's a nice job of giving his guys time to get down there.
It really was. He's right on his average that time. He had 31 yards, but the key there, Josh, was that high kick forced the fair catch. So that's going to be a net of 31 yards. And once again, the Raiders looking at a long field as they'll start out on their own 20-yard line.
1st down and 10 for the Raiders. Senior quarterback Carter Clemens in shotgun formation. Single back to his left. 2 receivers to his right, and he will give it off on 1st down. This is Bomley with it. He'll cut it back up the middle. He's going to have a nice solid gain on 1st down. And again, this is what Wayne Trace likes to do. It's not flashy, it's not fancy, but when you're getting 3-4 yard Scoop, that's going to keep them on schedule.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, sometimes it looks a little vanilla, but they'll take it. You know, they want to we talked about the importance of the Raiders to really kind of control the clock, win that time of possession. They want to keep this potent Tinora offense on the sideline for the majority of this ball game. That's a good start right there, picking up 4 on 1st down.
Second down and 6 now. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Trips to the left and an empty backfield for Clemens, and he will roll to his left. This is a designed run, and it will go absolutely nowhere. Abram Jimenez, I believe he was just crowned homecoming king, and that was a Kings-worthy stop right there by that young man.
That really was. As you mentioned, maybe 25 minutes ago, he was crowned homecoming king, and there he comes up with a big tackle for loss. So once again, Wayne Trace behind the chains here, looking at 3rd down 11. The Raiders 2 for 3 in the first quarter here on 3rd down conversions, but this one is going to be a tough one here as they need to get 11 for the first down.
Ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Empty backfield again for Clemens. They've got some stacked wideouts to his left and motion from that far sideline. They'll fake the jet sweep. Clemens will roll to his right. He's got all kinds of pressure coming. Heaves it down the field. There's a wide open receiver. Had to come back for the football. Boy, I tell you what, there was some blown coverage in the backfield there. Zach Stoller was wide open, and I believe he's going to be down. But, Scoop, Rams got lucky on that one.
Well, they did. Zach Stoller that time had at least 10 yards distance on the nearest Ram. And that time, Clemens had to kind of throw off his back foot, and it forced Stoller to come on a comeback route, and Tinora dodges a bullet. It looked like Wayne Trace was going to strike big there on that 3rd down scenario.
We have an injured Raider. I believe it is Stoller that's down, so we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more. Scoreless here, 2:32 to go, opening quarter here on DCTV Sports.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back to Justin F. Kressel Stadium. Zach Stoller able to walk off the field there, and Scoop, I think as he came back for that, he collided with the Ram defender, and but good to see him walking off to the sideline on his own power.
Well, I totally agree. He's such a competitor, great athlete out there, and that time tried to really extend his body to make a nearly impossible catch, but nice to see him get off under his own power. But now the Raiders will punt the football away.
This is going to be up and over the head of Moorhead. He's got to get this one away, and he does. It's a nice high booming kick. It's going to hit at the 40 and take a Wayne Trace bounce across midfield. Boy, Scoop, he was lucky to get that one off. That snap was over his head at the goal line, and boy, that could have been even more disastrous. Could have been a touchdown the other way.
You're right. That ball looked like it was going to head the end zone, potential safety or potential touchdown for Tinora. But that time he's able to not only get the punt off, but get 33 yards net. And again, the line of scrimmage with the 19, he had to punt that from the goal line, so that's a big-time play. But once again, decent starting position here for the Rams as they'll take over at their own 48. Trying to break a scoreless first quarter here as we've gone nearly 10 minutes. And right now the defenses have really dominated.
Owen Farrell will stand in shotgun formation. Single back behind him, 2 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. It'll be a handoff on first down as it'll be Abram Jimenez with it, who just tries to extend that. Nice job there, seeing that the hole was stuffed up. Try to bounce that to the right, and he is able to pick up about 3 yards there.
Yeah, that's a big pickup. That could have easily been a no gain or maybe a gain of just a yard. Instead, he's able to get, looks like a good 4 yards there. So good pickup that time on first down. And again, I like what they're doing, Josh, that they're really keeping Wayne Trace honest. We know it's just a matter of time before Owen Farrell starts taking some vertical shots. But right now, trying to establish a run here as they have the ball in Wayne Trace territory, looking at 2nd and 6.
He's thrown the ball 190 times coming into this game, and he's only thrown, well, this will be his 3rd attempt here, and it'll be slung to the near sideline, bobbled, and it'll be in and out of the hands of Josh Lieb. And I thought he hauled that in, Scoop, but just not able to keep the hands on it on the near sideline.
Yeah, Lieb, a guy that's got 47 receptions for the Rams. That was a well-thrown ball that time by Farrell on a little comeback route. Lieb disappointed himself. He knows that's the ball he typically is going to make a play on. So instead of picking up maybe 5 yards on that, looking at 3rd and 1, now Tinora looking at 3rd down and 6.
Ball spotted at the Wayne Trace 47-yard line. Rams break the huddle, trips to the far sideline. Single back in the backfield will be Jimenez behind Owen Farrell. He'll take the snap, looking to throw. Pressure comes. He eludes the rush to the near sideline. Now he'll spin back the other way, and he'll just throw this one out of bounds. And that's a smart decision by Owen Farrell, as he had a bunch of white shirts coming his way and no receivers. Credit Wayne Trace there on the backside, Scoop. Nice coverage downfield for the Raiders.
I thought they did a tremendous job, but they stayed containment, they stayed disciplined, they did not let Farrell get to the edge. And that time, another smart play by Owen that time, just to ground the football out of bounds, not take the huge sack. But how about that Wayne Trace defense? They force a 3 and out as the Rams pick up only 4 yards there on 3 plays.
Parker Hancock back to punt. Another high booming kick. This will go to the far sideline. It'll be fair caught at about the 16-yard line. And another nice job there by Parker Hancock. And the Raiders, Scoop, if anything, has been noticeable in this first quarter. Field position, that game is definitely being won by Tinora right here in this first quarter.
Well, you're right. It really has. You know, the first possession, Wayne Trace started out just inside their own 10-yard line. Then they started right on the 20-yard line. And now this time they're starting inside their own 20. Again, we're going to call it the 18-yard line. So right now, even though there's no points on the board, Tinora really controlling the field position. And now the Rams hoping for a 3 and out to maybe inherit some good field position once again.
2 backs in the backfield with Carter Clemens, who will stand in shotgun formation, second man through. And it'll be Whitman, I believe, who just dives forward for a few. And again, Scoop, they've done some nice things on first down. Again, you've talked about it in all of our broadcasts, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the change. Wayne Trace did a nice job of that on first down, but they seem to go backwards on second down, put themselves in that third down and long. Let's see what they can do here on second down.
Yeah, they just have to find some consistency. You know, when you're trying to control the time possession, you really have to do a good job of avoiding penalties and negative plays, something that they've had plenty of both here so far tonight.
And they will do a double give here as they gave it to Bomley, who hands it off to Clay Stoller. That's a nice, well-designed play. Kind of caught the Rams off guard a little bit. He's going to fall forward and make this a third down and short. This will be their first short third down of the game.
Yeah, that was a nifty play there, the double handoff. And, again, that's a timing play. Awfully tough to execute at that level, but they do pick up some good yardage. So right now, this has been the shortest third down scenario for Wayne Trace here tonight. The Raiders right now 2 for 4 on third down, trying to convert on 3rd and 2 here deep in their own territory.
Ball spot out. I think they're going to just be content with the first quarter coming to an end. And we are scoreless here at Justin F. Kressel Stadium. We played 1, Tinora 0, Wayne Trace 0. Second quarter next on DCTV Sports.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit SuperiorCU.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Welcome back to Justin F. Kressel Stadium as they are recognizing the class of 1975, Scoop. The reunion tents were out front when we rolled in earlier tonight, and they got a nice group down here in the west side of the stadium. Good to see those folks out here in their green and white.
It really is exciting time here to be a Ram here on homecoming night, and I love it. You know, hard to believe 1975 was 50 years ago, but truth hurts sometimes. But again, nice to see their class get together for a little entertainment here. And right now, they've seen a good football game. It's been a defensive battle right now, and really kind of a battle of field position. Huge third down coming up here to start this second quarter for Wayne Trace.
Well, flip ends now. Wayne Trace now left to right on your screen. Empty backfield. Now Bomley will fake the jet sweep, and Carter Clemens will keep it, and he's got some space to go. He's got the first down and more out across the 35-yard line. I'll tell you what, Scoop, I thought he was stopped at about the line to gain, but nice job there by Carter Clemens, and we got a late penalty flag coming in.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run that time by Carter Clemens. It looked like he was going to be stuffed maybe short of the chains, but made a nifty move, made one guy miss. And then he's able to get plenty of yards to the first down, and you attack on I think, a defensive holding penalty coming up here on the Rams.
Well, that's a personal foul against Tinora. That was a dead ball penalty, so that's one of those mental mistakes after the play, Scoop, and that's going to tack 15 yards onto the end of this one. And boy, this might be about the best thing that has gone for the Raiders so far here in this. Talking field position-wise, this is going to get them out near midfield. Well, that's a big penalty against Tinora.
That's huge. You know, it was a big run there by Clemens, but when you tack another 15 onto it, that takes the ball all the way into Ram territory. So right now, Wayne Trace has been awfully good on third down here, Josh. 3 for 5 here in this opening half, and for the first time tonight, have a fresh set of downs in Ram territory.
First down at 10, ball spotted at the Tinora 49-yard line. A little jet sweep, and Stoller's going to be hit and dropped back in Wayne Trace territory, and a nice job there by Tinora. They stretched that out and just couldn't. Stoller just could not get north and south on that football field.
Well, credit Abram Jimenez once again. He did a good job of getting pursued upfield, and what that did not allow Wayne Trace to get to the edge. So they had to keep running south there, so to speak, toward the sideline. Ends up being another negative play for Wayne Trace, something they've had too many of here this opening half.
Empty backfield. Shotgun formation for Clemens, and he'll keep it left side. He's going to be hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage, and a nice job getting in there. Kobe Bum, we've called his name a couple of times here tonight, and I'll tell you what, Scoop, he is quick to shoot the gap.
He really is. That time did an excellent job of kind of stunting in there and is able to get his big paw on there, and that was able to stop that play. So, again, no gainer there for the Raiders, and once again another third down here for Wayne Trace, looking at 3rd down and 12. Can they connect for the 4th time here tonight on 3rd and long?
So 3rd down and 12 for Wayne Trace. Shotgun formation for Clemens, and another penalty, and we'll see what this one's about. This one came in from the back judge. That's going to be illegal substitution.
That's correct.
Against
those are the
Tinora.
ones you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot with that one. Those are those unforced mistakes you just can't afford to, especially in a rivalry game like this. And now your playbook gets a little bit bigger here on 3rd down and 7 as opposed to 3rd down and 12. And again, I think, Josh, right here, if you get 4 or 5 yards right here, you may go for it on 4th and short here, the fact that you're already in Ram territory.
Well, and their defense has done such a nice job here in the first quarter, keeping the Tinora offense in check. So we'll see what they do here. Trips to the left, now motion coming, and they'll give it on the jet sweep to Bomley. He's going to turn it upfield. He's going to be about a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of that first down, and decision time, like you said, Scoop.
Well, I think they showed their hand right there, the fact that they're running that jet sweep on 3rd and 7. So I think they made a decision that, hey, if we get positive yards, this is 4 down territory. So I look for the Raiders to go for it here. It's going to be 4th down and 3. But the first time we've seen tonight from either team trying to go for it in 4th down. Huge opportunity for this Ram defense to maybe establish some field position if you can get a big stop right here.
4th down, we'll call it a long 2, short 3 motion, and it'll be another penalty marker, a service master restored penalty, and Wayne Trace again had an opportunity there, Scoop, to get a first down, keep this drive alive. 4th and 2, now 4th and 7, and the punting unit's going to come on.
Yeah, I think that makes it a no-brainer right now. You know, once you lost those 5 yards via the penalty, the 4th Raider penalty of the night, now you're forced to punt the football away. So once again, it's going back to that field position game. This time Wayne Trace trying to give Tinora a long field, something the Rams haven't really seen all night.
Reese Moorhead will punt this one away. Another high booming kick to the near sideline. It'll hit, and it'll go out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. And not a bad punt there, but again, this is probably the worst starting field position of the night for the Rams.
Yeah, it is. It's really the first time they've looked at a long field, so great job by Wayne Trace. I think that was the right call from 5th-year head coach Matt Holden, that once you had that penalty, Hey, let's don't roll the dice here. Let's keep Tinora pinned deep and see what our defense can do here.
Well, and for Wayne Trace, Scoop, I mean, they've done a lot of nice things here tonight, but they've just been shooting themselves in the foot over and over again with these penalties and these mistakes, and they're just kind of holding themselves back.
Well, you're right. They've kind of been their own worst enemy, but right now you've got to flush it. You've got to have that next play mentality. You've got a chance with your defense right here for Wayne Trace to force a 3 and out and get some great field position.
First down run for Jimenez, and this will be wrapped up nicely by Wayne Trace as Jack Schunauer got in there. And, boy, that was a nice job there of limiting that to a no gain.
It really was. They're doing a nice job there from that linebacker position to really fly into the football. And, boy, that time the Rams fortunate to get even close to the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 2nd down and 11 here for the Rams. And, again, they're pinned inside their own 20-yard line.
Farrell will come to the line, single back behind him, trips to the far sideline, single receiver to the near sideline. And Farrell will be back to pass, and he'll just shoot this one quickly out of the backfield to Hattemer, and he'll be hit and dropped immediately. Nice job of pursuing that from Wayne Trace. And it was Zach Stoller, one of the first guys there, but got about 3 white shirts to the football, and good, nice, solid pursuit from Wayne Trace.
Yeah, it really was. And right now I think both coaches understand the importance of winning the turnover battle. We've seen, I think, conservative calls really on both sides of the ledger right now. But, again, that's been a struggle point for both teams. We mentioned Wayne Trace coming in -7 in turnover margin. Tenora not much better, -5 through the first 6 games as well.
So big 3rd down here for both of these teams. 3rd down and 11 at their own 18-yard line. Farrell back to pass. He's got time. Now pressure comes. He's flushed to his far sideline, and again, he's got to throw this one out of bounds, Scoop. This is the 3rd time tonight that pressure has forced him to throw the football away.
Tremendous defense by Wayne Trace. You mentioned the pressure, Josh, just all over Owen Farrell, but the secondary, too, was locked in. That was going to be a coverage sack as well, and that time Farrell did the only thing he could do, and that was throw the football out of bounds. So great job there by Wayne Trace, forcing a 3 and out as the Rams lose 1 yard on 3 plays. And Wayne Trace, for the first time tonight, should inherit some good starting position here as their deep men are on the 50-yard line here, anticipating the punt here from the Rams.
Parker Hancock standing at his own 3, and he will boot this one away, and it's a high spiraling kick all the way back near the 40-yard line. This will be taken by Stoller, and he's got room down that sideline, and this is going to be great starting field position for the Raiders all the way down to the 31, 32-yard line. And well, I'll tell you what, he had to back up about 8 yards from where he was standing. Great punt from Parker Hancock, Scoop, but a nice job, a nice return there from Wayne Trace.
Well, it really was. I think Hancock really outkicked his coverage. That punt went for 41 yards, but nice job that time to field it and then take off for the sidelines. A fantastic return. And how about Wayne Trace, after starting deep in their own territory, their first 3 drives, now starts out at the Tinora 31-yard line.
Shotgun formation for Carter Clements. He'll hand it off, and he'll do a double handoff to Whitman, and he's got nowhere to go. They've tried that play a few times, Scoop. They've had a little bit of success, but now the Tinora defense is not so fast, my friend.
Well, you're right. That Ram defensive front there is getting a nice push, and when you get into the backfield, even if it's just a half a yard or a yard, you're disrupting the timing. You're not letting those guys get to the hole. So once again, Wayne Trace has a negative play. I mean, they've had, 4 penalties, but they've also had, I think, 5 negative plays here tonight here in this opening half. So that's kind of throwing you behind the change. We'll see if Wayne Trace comes up throwing here on 2nd down and 12.
Under 7 to go before halftime. Empty backfield, now Bombley in motion. It'll be a jet sweep. He'll go left side. He finds a seam across the 25-20. He's got room at the 15. He'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 7 or 8 yard line. That is a nice gain there all the way into, for the first time tonight, our Stanball Jewelers red zone. And that is the first trip by either of these teams, and it's the Wayne Trace Raiders.
Yeah, how about Carter Baumley that time, breaking one off there on that left side, nearly took it to the house. Boy, that's a big first down, the first Raider first down since that Tinora penalty. Right now they're going to have 4 cracks at it from 6-yard line.
Gain of 27, and this will be a nowhere to go situation for Lance Whitman, who just kind of falls forward. I don't think he quite got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard. Kind of went heavy there, Scoop, with some extra beef in the backfield. Direct snap to Whitman, just nothing going.
Yeah, and again, one of those negative plays, it's going to end up being a loss of 1. So what was once 4-down territory for the 6, now you've got 3 downs from a 7.
And Whitman will take it, and he'll just give it off quickly to Baumley, who will scamper inside the 5 to the 3. So give him a gain of 4. Now they've switched it out a little bit with Lance Whitman, the senior wingback, back there kind of running the show. No guesses what they're doing here.
Well, Whitman's a guy that came in averaging 9.8 yards per carry on the season. He hasn't been used a lot, but when they've used him, it's been very effective, usually on that double handoff, as we saw there. So he gets a good chunk right there. So now a 3rd and goal from a 3 coming up for Wayne Trace, and what you'd think would still be 4-down territory here for the Raiders if necessary.
Carter Clemens back in at quarterback. He'll hand it to Whitman up the gut, and he'll go into the end zone. It's a 3-yard touchdown run for Lance Whitman, and we have our first points of the night, and they belong to the Wayne Trace Raiders.
Well, impressive finish to that drive there. Credit Whitman once again. He went right through the teeth of that Ram defense, and again, we talked about his numbers. He's been really the most successful back on the ground this year for Wayne Trace. Now a big extra point coming up for the Raiders, something they've been really good at this year, Josh. I believe the Raiders like 19 for 20 on extra points this season.
You are correct. This will be Reese Moorhead, the sophomore, on for the point after. Snap is high. They get it down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. It is a a West Banco touchdown for Lance Whitman, who goes 3 yards. The point after is good, and the Wayne Trace Raiders strike first, 7-0 over Tinora. We're back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
West Banco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused West Banco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Welcome back to Justin F. Cressel Stadium. Homecoming night here tonight for the Rams. And, the Wayne Trace Raiders playing spoiler here, Scoop. They get the first score of the night, 7-0 on what was a nice job by Wayne Trace to finish off after getting great starting field position.
Well, you're right. I think it was all predicated by that solid punt return that gave the Raiders great position there, starting out at the 31-yard line of the Rams. But credit that offense. Just took 5 plays there to get those 31 yards. And Wayne Trace strikes first.
Ensuing kickoff as the Raiders will tee it up at the 40-yard line. A high, long line drive kick. It'll hit at the 10. And this is trouble. It was away from all the return men. And now got to get some space on that far sideline. This is Garrett Sheets. And, well, that was trouble there, Scoop. They kicked it away from all the return men. That ball just kind of hanging up down there. But nice job by Sheets to get a little bit of space out to the about the 17-yard line.
Well, that was a fantastic kickoff near the sideline, but it stayed in bounds. You're not able to field it. You had to go pick it up. By the time you did that, you've got the pursuit coming hard. Sheets that time tried to take it to the wide side, decided better cut it back, but he gets tangled up inside his own 20. So right now, Rams looking at a long field. They'll start out at their own 17-yard line.
First down and 10 for Owen Farrell in the Rams offense. He'll have a single back in the backfield with him. That's Hattemer. 2 receivers to his left. Single receiver to the far sideline. 5:11 to go before halftime. They'll hand it off to Hattemer, and he'll be hit and dropped. Jensen Beining was the first guy in there, Scoop, and you said it earlier. We're going to call his name a lot tonight, and he does it's not hard. 6 foot 165. He fills the gap pretty quick, but it's a nice strong play by Binding.
It really was. You know, he's strong and quick. He's tough in there. He's not afraid to put his lid on you. And that time, Tinora once again just not unable to control first down as the Raider defense comes up with that play for no gain. So once again, Tinora looking at second long here. We'll see if Farrell goes upstairs here, trying to generate some offense here that's really been stymieing this entire first half.
Farrell back to pass on 2nd down and 10. Plenty of time. Now pressure comes. He's flushed to his right. It'll be dropped in the backfield, and a nice job of pursuit there for Wayne Trace, and that was Carter Baumley who came in from his linebacker spot, and I think Farrell thought he might get away from him. That's a huge loss all the way back to the 10-yard line, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and long.
Well, Baumley came in as a leading tackler for Wayne Trace. He also led the team with the 6 tackles for loss coming in, and that's a big one right there. That's going to pin Tinora inside their own 10-yard line. So this is where you have to be careful. You certainly got a capable quarterback in Owen Farrell, can bail you out of the 3rd 19, but you don't want to make a mistake deep in your own territory, already down a score here in this opening half.
3:40 in rolling here before halftime. Trips to the near sideline, and pressure coming, and Farrell will roll to his right, and there's a penalty marker down. He's going to find a receiver. I don't know if he caught that in bounds or not. It was hauled in by Parker Hancock, but we have a service master restore penalty flag. It's in the area of holding.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold for sure, and that happened just outside the goal line. So that's a break there for Tinora. That could have easily turned into a safety. What that'll do, that'll take it half the distance to the goal. So now this drive seems to be going backwards for the Rams.
Well, interesting here. If you decline that, it would be 4th down, but you take this here, you're going to pin them back even further now. 3rd down.
Well, I think they ruled that a catch, and so I think that's why they're taking a penalty, because otherwise, you're right. They certainly, you got them pinned inside the 10 already, but now the football is resting on the 4-yard line here for Tinora. So right now, huge opportunity for Wayne Trace. Right now, you're going to give the underneath stuff. You can't afford anything deep here to extend this Ram drive.
Coach Eric Becker asking for an explanation from the officials there as they have a little conference on this near sideline before the play goes in. Looks like we might have a little bit of confusion on this near sideline. I think they were challenging the spot of the penalty.
Well, I think what's going to happen is maybe they're saying that was incomplete, so the Raiders are going to refuse a penalty. If that's the case, Tenora's going to punt the football away from perhaps inside their own goal line.
Yep, and Scoop, you are correct there. They're going to say that was an incomplete pass, so it'll be 4th down and 18 now for Tinora, and Parker Hancock is going to be about halfway back in his own end zone. And this will be a timeout for Tinora, as Eric Becker says, let's reset here. Let's get things right. 3:28 to go. Raiders leading Tinora by a score of 7-0. We're back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Welcome back to Justin F. Kressel Stadium. As you see, 7-0 Wayne Trace leading Tinora here on homecoming night. And, well, this, again, a little bit of an odd series here for Tinora. But, Scoop, they're going to be punting from their own end zone here. It's going to be tough. Then Parker Hancock's going to have to get this one off.
Yeah, you're going to see probably some pressure right here. And credit this. Whoa, that one's going to the high school. Shooting T-shirts down there on the track, and that was well over your grasp, Josh. I thought you were going to try to make a spectacular catch.
Well, there's some good barbecue going on back there, and they just added a shirt into the grill. Good snap back to Hancock. He'll boot this one away, a low line drive kick. It'll hit, and they're going to let it bounce. And, well, just a tough decision there from Stoller to let that one go. This is going to go all the way down inside the Wayne Trace 40. And that was a beautiful punt from Parker Hancock. Had a little knuckleball to it, and nothing for Stoller to do with it, just lets it go.
Huge punt there by Parker Hancock. That's going to be a net of 52 yards, no return. Maybe a mistake that time by the Raiders special teams. You have to catch that football, not allow it to bounce those extra 20 yards. But, boy, that's a huge play that time by Tinora. That flips the field. And now with 3:15 to go, Wayne Trace will start out from their own 38-yard line, trying to make this a 2-score game.
It'll be shotgun formation for Carter Clemens, the senior quarterback. He'll have trips to the near sideline to his right. Empty backfield. Now motion from Baumley, and they'll give it on the jet sweep. No, they'll give it a handoff again, and nothing for Whitman there. Maybe a yard, maybe 2 as he keeps fighting, keeps churning those legs. But, again, read nicely by Tinora, not fooled by that extra motion.
Yeah, well defended that time. The timing was there for Wayne Trace, a play they've had a lot of success with this season. At that time, the double handoff gets them a yard, perhaps 2. And right now, the clock, by the time they take this snap, will be down to about 2.5 minutes here in this opening half.
Well, they're in no hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation again for Clemens. Trips to his left this time. Now Baumley in motion again, and they'll give it to him on the jet sweep. He'll take it off the right side, and he'll fall forward for a yard, maybe 2. Not much there. Again, read very nicely by the Tinora defensive front, and a good job of containing that play.
That really was a great containment right now. You just need to get a stop. You want to make this a 1-score game. And Wayne Trace seems to be content right now, being conservative here, up a score here late in this first half. So the Raiders, I look for them to maybe burn this down to second left and maybe burn a timeout here, trying to eat up as much of this final 2 minutes as they can.
Clock spinning under 2 minutes to go before halftime. Again, stick around to halftime. We'll have performances from the band. I don't see a Wayne Trace. Oh, no, they're down there. Both bands. As Clemens back to pass, he'll unload to the far sideline. This will be hauled in, and that'll be caught by Zach Stoller, the junior wide receiver, and that's good enough for a Wayne Trace first down.
Great route that time by Zach Stoller. The junior that time knew exactly where the chains were, knew exactly where his feet were. A well-timed and well-delivered football that time from Carter Clemens, so that may change the tempo here a little bit after picking up that big third down conversion, as the Raiders now have a fresh set of downs, ball spotted right at the 50-yard line.
Clock stops as he goes out of bounds, trips to the near sideline. Now motion from Baumley again. They'll give it, they'll fake the jet sweep. It'll be Clemens with it right side. He's got some blockers, but a penalty marker comes in. It's a Service Master restore penalty. We've had plenty of that tonight, and it's another penalty against Wayne Trace. This time it'll be holding, and that'll push the Wayne Trace offense back a little bit, as quarterback Carter Clemens very slow to get up off the turf after that hard run.
Yeah, that time there's just no place to go. He tried to stay patient, tried to stay behind some blockers, and then he just kind of lowered the shoulder, tried to pick up as many yak yards as possible. But the hold will negate that small gain that he had. And right now, that's going to back it up to the 40-yard line. So still first down, but 1st and 20 now for the Raiders.
Clock will roll here under 90 seconds to play before halftime. 1st down and 24. Wayne Trace at their own 40-yard line. Motion from that far sideline again. They'll fake it to Baumley. He's going to throw across the middle. This will be picked off in and out of the hands of his receiver, and it'll be picked off. The first turnover of the night, and that's a big one for Garrett Sheets, the freshman, and that's the first turnover, and it'll go the way of the Wayne Trace Raiders.
Yeah,
excuse me, the Tinora Rams.
Yeah, great play that time by the Rams in coverage. They knew on 1st and long, with time being a factor, probably going to be a throwing scenario. And that time they took advantage off the deflection. Ends up being a pick, and now Tinora with an opportunity here with just over a minute to go. Just down a touchdown here, but great starting position at their own 49-yard line.
So we'll see if the Rams can capitalize on the first turnover of the night. and get this game tied up before halftime as they'll break the huddle here. 1:09 to go. They've got 2 timeouts left. Owen Farrell stands in shotgun formation. He'll have a single back behind him. 2 receivers either side. And he will roll to his left, looking to throw. He's got some blockers. Now he's going to unload down deep, and it looks like there was a little miscommunication between the receiver and quarterback that time. I think he thought Josh Lieb was going to Owen Reynolds was going to run down that hash scoop, but he broke it off and just nobody home.
Yeah, that time Clay Stoller was probably the closest person to it, and the Raider looking to get a pick there, but that ball had a lot of mustard on it, and fortunately for Tinora, that's going to fall incomplete. So we'll stop the clock with 1:03 to go. Again, Tinora still has time. They've got a couple timeouts. They've also got a gunslinger back there in Owen Farrell. So anything can happen here in this final 63 seconds here as the Rams trying to get back in touch.
Play clock's at 2, play clock's at 1. They'll get it off. I didn't know if they would as Farrell rolls to his left again. All kinds of pressure coming his way, and he's going to dump this one out again. And I'll tell you what, Scoop, we've mentioned this before, pursuit up front from the Wayne Trace defense, but the coverage downfield, Farrell has nowhere to go with the football.
Yeah, that time, once again, Farrell just made sure that ball's going out of bounds. I'm going to get it past the line of scrimmage, and it's going to stop the clock, but it will be an incomplete pass. And, boy, that was awfully close. I'm not sure they got that play off before the play clock got down to 0, but nonetheless, I think the Rams will take that. Good stop there, forcing a 3rd down and 10.
So we'll see what the Tinora offense can draw up here on 3rd down and long. Again, clock stopped at 56 seconds. Single back again behind Farrell. Now motion from the near sideline. We'll have trips to the right. Back to pass. All kinds of pressure coming. He's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. And that is a huge, huge play from Lance Whitman, who scored that touchdown a little bit ago. Scoop, he shot through like he was out of a cannon.
Whitman's one of the best players in GMC. Everybody knows that. And you're right. Boy, he just kind of shot out of there and just no chance for Owen Farrell. Boy, that's going to end up being a huge loss. That'll bring up 4th down. And, boy, you can call that 24 yards to go.
Yeah, that's a huge loss all the way back near the 35-yard line. Wayne Trace going to burn a timeout here to get the clock stopped at 45 seconds. We'll take it with him. 45 ticks to go before halftime. Wayne Trace 7, Tinora 0. Back after this on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Welcome back to Tinora High School, week number 7 of the high school football season. Wayne Trace trying to spoil homecoming night tonight for the Rams, leading 7-0, 45 seconds before halftime. And this is going to be a 4th down and 24 for Tinora. And, boy, coming off that interception, Scoop, you felt a lot of time, 2 timeouts, but just not able to do anything with it. Credit the Wayne Trace defense.
Oh, you have to. The last 4 possessions for Tinora have resulted in a total of minus 19 yards. So Wayne Trace again gets that 3 and out after the turnover.
Low snap, and it'll be handled by Hancock. This one will be taken at about the 35-yard line. Plenty of green space on that far sideline across midfield to the 40, 35-30. And it'll be tripped up and falls down as that was Easton J. Boy, I tell you what, Scoop, that was a very, very nice return. Did not waste any time getting up the field.
Well, you can see Wayne Trace's spot something in this punt coverage we've seen from the Rams tonight. You could see that hole opened when that ball was really at the apex of its flight. Looks like Tinora is kind of over pursuing on contain, and that's allowing some huge holes. They're able to kind of get to that wall there on that Wayne Trace side once again. So great starting position here. Even though we're down to 30 seconds, Wayne Trace will start out at the Ram 30-yard line.
The scoreboard says 3 timeouts, but they did just take 1, so 2 timeouts remaining for, they've fixed it. Shotgun formation, and they will throw on 1st down as the quarterback looks to go back across his body, and that's another interception. Just a bad choice there. You roll to your right, you throw it back to the left, and who's there once again? But Garrett Sheets, the freshman, his 2nd interception in the last minute of this game. and the Tinora Rams will have another opportunity here before halftime.
What a tremendous play by Sheets that time on that backside. You know, a lot of times you may over pursue. You see the quarterback running to the strong side, you go with him. He stayed home, was able to get a good jump on that football. And that time, a costly Raider turnover once again. I look for Tinora to be very conservative here now, back inside their own 15-yard line with just 23 seconds left.
First down and 10 at their own 14-yard line as Farrell will stand in shotgun formation. And he'll be back to pass. And he'll unload to the far sideline. He's got a receiver. He just overshoots barely. Dylan Schaufele is over there. And Shively, excuse me, is how you say that. I apologize. But Dylan Shively, boy, he had a nice job there, Scoop. He had a beat on his defender, but just a little too much on that pass.
Well, you're right. That's one of the few times tonight that Farrell's had actually a chance to set his feet and throw the football. And right there, we saw what kind of arm he has. He's had to throw on the run all night long, but that time they took a vertical shot. You know, I certainly, understand that. Wayne Trace should not get the ball back unless you have a costly turnover. Right now, 2nd and 10.
17 seconds, and they'll be running this one left side across the 20-yard line and out of bounds. I think that'll be Doug Hattemer with the football. He's going to be pushed out of bounds with 9 seconds to go. That was a nice, strong run, and I think they were trying to get the clock to run out, Scoop, but he goes out of bounds, so the Rams will run another play here. Be 3rd down and a short one. Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. And I think they're gonna measure for this to make sure it's not a first down. Well, you don't see many measurements anymore.
No, that's a lost start, but they are going to bring the chains in here. It does appear he's going to be a little bit short, but when it's within a yard, you can request a measurement. Maybe that buys you a little time to think, hey, what we're going to do with 9 seconds? Do they take another vertical shot downfield? Do they run the clock out?
So they'll put the chains down and got a great shot of it here. Looks like he's going to be half a football short of that first down. So it'll be 3rd and half a football.
And right now, it's going to be interesting to see what Wayne Trace does. Do they put 9 guys back in coverage? Do they bring the heat like we've seen so many times in Owen Farrell? And what does Tinora do? They take the vertical shot, or do they just run up the middle to try to maybe perhaps bust one off or just run out the time?
I'm going to take this next level, Scoop. If you're Wayne Trace, you get a quick stop here. Do you burn a timeout, make them punt it?
Absolutely.
I mean, they've had some really good success on those returns. So it'll be 3rd down and a short one. Farrell in shotgun formation. Single back behind him. He's going to throw the football. Pressure comes. He's flushed to his left. He'll be hit, and he throws this one out of bounds. Clock will stop with about 3 seconds left. It'll be incomplete. I think they thought maybe Whitman came up and intercepted that, but it'll fall incomplete. So, Wayne Trace doesn't have to burn a timeout here. This will be 4th down and 1. What do you do if you're Tinora? I mean,
I don't think you risk a punt here. I think basically you just have Farrell take a couple steps back and throw a deep vertical shot down the sideline that should eat up the last 3 seconds of the half. I don't think you want to risk a punt as strong as this defensive front has been for Wayne Trace here tonight.
So 4th down and half of football. Tinora, shotgun formation. Back to pass is Farrell. All kinds of pressure, and he'll take a knee, and that'll be just enough to run out the clock. And we'll roll into halftime here at Tinora as the Wayne Trace Raiders on top of Tinora tonight, 7-0 at halftime. Our halftime show is courtesy of Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, or online at midwestcommunity.com. Well, Scoop, as we thought coming into this one, this was going to be a hard-fought game by both of these teams. And I'll tell you what, defensively here tonight, we've seen great effort from both sides of the football on the defensive side.
Well, we really have. Both teams, the defenses have showed up ready to play. You know, I thought we'd have a little bit more scoring. We did. We kind of joked off air that, well, you know, we're going to see more points we did last year in that 3-0 overtime win by Tinora. But right
technically
now,
we have.
Wayne Trace, you know, pitching a shutout and just one score, although it was a big one for Wayne Trace, getting that touchdown, but just 7 points the first half. But, boy, Josh, look at that Raider defense. After giving up 22 yards on Tenora's opening drive, since that time, the last 5 drives, boy, minus 19 yards here for Tinora.
Well, and you mentioned it, the pursuit, the pressure that Owen Farrell's had. He's had barely any passes tonight where he's been able to set his feet and throw down the field. And, again, as much as it's credit to the front guys and the linebackers getting in there, the defensive secondary for Wayne Trace has been outstanding in this first half.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with their secondary. They have matched Tinora stride for stride, and I thought Tinora had a really good receiving core coming in. But again, you can tell these guys have spent a lot of time in the film room. They seem to be really well prepared. You combine that with the pressure they put on Farrell, just not much offense for Tinora as they just were able to move the chains, I think, one time in that opening half.
We'll take a time out here on our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. When we come back, we'll get you performances from the Wayne Trace and Tinora marching bands. That's to come next here on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
consisting of several sections including a ballad, opera, and hard rock. Featuring senior trumpet Connie Endicott. Here's the song from Bohemian Rhapsody. Our final song this evening. This 1979 song has been used in commercials, shows, and movies, including Shazam. Now, while initially popular, the song became one of the famous words we love hits later on. We close our show tonight with Don't Stop Me Now.
The Tinora Marching Band would like to welcome you to our 2025 halftime show. The band is under the direction of David Middleton, assistant band director and guard instructor Megan Wiles, and runway instructor Ray Cruz. The Rams are led on the field by senior drum major Leo McMaster. Tonight, we present a tribute to the Beatles. Our first show revolutionized rock music in 1967, introducing listeners to the idea of a concept album. Its groundbreaking production and imaginative style changed how albums were made and listened to. Enjoy Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Beatlemania worldwide. It's catchy, yeah, hook to be a cultural phenomenon, even influencing how pop music was written. Here it is, She Loves You. Our final tune is unique mashup, blending the psychedelic energy of Financial Mystery Tour with the iconic opening chord of A Hard Day's Night. This tune will take you on a magical ride from Beatlemania to their experimental era, all in one song, with a journey through sound, style, and rock history.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Welcome back to Tinora High School as we are at our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show, and we are at a 7-0 ball game here as Wayne Trace getting that lone touchdown in the first half. As we take a look at recapping some of that scoring, wasn't a whole lot of it in that first half, but it came on the short field as Lance Whitman would cap off a short Wayne Trace drive with that 3-yard West Benko touchdown run. The point after was good, and that is our score here at halftime. Wayne Trace leading Tinora by a score of 7-0. And Scoop, as we take a look at some Arthur Law Firm stat tracker information, I know you were tracking some of that, but defense really told the story here in this first half.
Boy, it really did. Both defenses, I thought, came to play. The only score was that 31-yard drive after that fine punt return by the Raiders. So really the defense, I thought, did a great job on both sides, but especially that Wayne Trace defense. After giving up a first down and 22 yards to Tinora on Tenora's opening drive, since that time, Tinora had 4 3-and-outs and then a 4-and-out to end that first half. So they netted total just 9 yards on 6 possessions on 21 plays. They're going to have to find the right buttons to push here in this second half if they want to try to get back in this one down a score.
Field position here, starting field position. I know you were kind of looking at some of that as we went through the first half. Boy, it really seemed like that was going to go the way of Tinora in this first half, and Wayne Trace did a really nice job. I think credit those punt returns, switching that field up a little bit.
Yeah, that was really the difference. You know, at first it was all field position. Tinora had that early edge where they kind of pinned Wayne Trace on the opening kickoff, and it was kind of a push there back and forth for a while, but that big punt return kind of opened the door for Wayne Trace, and from that point on, it was Tinora who really was looking at a long field. Remember the one time the Rams were backed up, inside their own 5-yard line and so forth. I mean, but again, that Wayne Trace defense was stellar. When you get give up 6 possessions, you get 5 3-and-outs. Boy, that's really saying something.
Our halftime show tonight, courtesy of Midwest Community Federal Credit Union. We'll take another time out. We'll come back and we'll get you set for the second half of action here tonight from Justin F. Caressel Stadium. Wayne Trace 7, Tinora 0. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Welcome back to Tinora High School. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you here, week number 7 of the high school football season. And well, Scoop, let's do a little coaching here. If you're coming out of the locker room here, let's start with Tinora here. Obviously, down here at halftime. If you're Eric Becker, what are some things that you're going through with the guys in the locker room?
Well, I think first and foremost, he probably challenged his line. Hey, we've got to give Owen Farrell some time to throw the football. You know, he's been under duress, has not had a chance to really drop back in the pocket and check off receivers. He's had to throw on the fly, and more times than not on pass attempts, Farrell's just throwing the ball out of bounds to avoid the sack. So that has to be the first thing. I think another thing for the Rams, they have to find a way to defensively, maybe take advantage. They had 2 turnovers they came up with, those 2 big interceptions. But again, when you're doing 3-and-outs, you're not able to cash in. So they have to find a way to create more turnovers. We thought that was going to probably be the big difference coming in. Even though they were able to create a couple turnovers, they have nothing to show for it.
Yeah. Flip it over if you're Matt Holden, Wayne Trace. Obviously, there was nothing fancy about this first half, but they're up 7-0. What is the key for them coming out of the locker room for this second half?
Well, I think the key is the mindset. You flush the first half. It was a good one. But you flush the first half, you go out and say, guys, this is a 0-0 ball game. We got to win the second half. If you do that, you're going to win the game. So they have to keep that foot on the accelerator, especially on defense. I'm sure they talked about the importance of taking care of the football. We cannot turn the football over, especially when our defense is playing so well. Let's don't give Tinora a chance to jumpstart their offense, because maybe it's a matter of time for the Rams. Maybe buy Farrell some time and start connecting. Remember, Farrell comes in awfully accurate, over 1,300 yards on the season. averaging well over 200 yards per game. So he's a guy that can turn this game around, but they have to find a way to buy him some time.
Well, he's just been stymied here tonight. I mean, he's had no time to throw. The coverage has been fantastic, and they're going to get the football to start this second half. How important is this first drive for the Tinora offense?
Well, I think it's huge. You know, we talked about at the onset the importance of that first drive, and right now you've got your backs to the wall. It becomes a 24-minute game, and certainly the Rams certainly have the power that it takes. Remember, Tinora comes in scoring nearly 30 points per contest this year. They average 28.7, but again, just one first down that opening half, and I think that came on the third play of the ball game.
Well, another thing that I noticed, Scoop, and I don't know if you looked at when we were going through some of our notes this week, Wayne Trace, definitely a second-half team as far as scoring goes. They're really not overly productive in the first half, have some nice numbers in the second half. Might be interesting to see what they can do here with this lead.
Well, that's a great point because they really have been a strong second-half team all season long. You're right, here's going to be a little pooch kick that the Rams field at the 25-yard line.
A couple of missed tackles, and he'll be finally wrapped up out near the 35-yard line. And that's a nice job by Richard down on the field, getting a bird's-eye view of the return there from Dylan Shively. But Tenora's going to have not great starting field position, Scoop, but at the 34-yard line, that's a nice place to start. But they've got to have something positive on this first drive.
Yeah, I think they do. You know, even if they don't put points on the board, I think you got to move the chains, give yourself some confidence, find a way to penetrate this Wayne Trace defense that, again, was so stellar they gave up just 9 yards on 21 plays the first 24 minutes.
So the Rams will come out, break the huddle, first down and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Shotgun formation, as we've seen most of the night here tonight, with single back in the backfield behind Farrell. Two receivers stacked on either side, and it'll be a toss to the far sideline for Jimenez. He's got some green space, but that space closes quickly, and he'll be tripped up out near the 40-yard line. Nice pursuit from the backside. I think that was Baumley who came in and kind of tripped him up, but boy, that play could have gone for a lot more.
It really could have. It was a huge hole from the onset, but you saw the good pursuit angles there from the secondary of the Raiders. But good job by Jimenez that time. He gets 5 yards on first down, so that's what you want, little positive momentum. Avoid those penalties and negative plays that really plagued Tinora in that opening 24 minutes.
Second down at 5, 39-yard line is the spot. Single back again behind Farrell, and they'll run it again on second down, and he'll be hit immediately. And that was, again, Jensen Binding coming in there from his linebacker spot, stuffing the hole, and just absolutely nowhere for Jimenez to go.
Yeah, Binding that time. Boy, he's been a load tonight, but give their whole defensive front a lot of credit, you know. I really like the play of Alex Doster, the junior. He's been lights out in the trenches. Kane Mansfield's been lights out. Caleb Cox, the senior's been lights out. And of course, Binding, as we mentioned, boy, he's been in a lot of stops. Huge third down here coming up for the Rams.
Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, single back in the backfield behind Owen Farrell, who takes the shotgun snap, looking to throw. Protection is there. Now it breaks down. He'll find a receiver out across the first down marker, and that'll be complete to Owen Reynolds. And that is good enough for a Tinora first down at the 47-yard line. And, well, again, winning those little battles, Scoop. You get that first down, keep the drive alive. Those are little wins here to start this second half for Tinora.
Yeah, and it's huge. You mentioned, Josh, the importance of this opening drive. And there in that big third down conversion, they now get a fresh set of downs in Wayne Trace territory. But I love the composure that time of Farrell. He just kind of stayed patient there. Was able to deliver a strike there.
First down and 10, ball spotted at the 47-yard line. Farrell back to pass again. The protection holds, and that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Josh Lieb, who dropped that one as he was trying to tiptoe the sideline at midfield. It'll fall incomplete, second down and 10.
Yeah, good coverage that time by the Raiders. That time Lieb on a little bit of a comeback route, and credit Farrell. He threw that ball on a dime, but he throws it so hard. That's not an easy catch when you're reaching out. You're trying to keep your toes in bounds. And you have to catch that on your fingertips. Going to bring up a second and 10 here for the Rams.
We'll see what they'll dial up as they break the huddle. Quickly to the line. I say quickly, the play clock's at 8. Single back in the backfield again behind Farrell, back to pass. The pocket will hold. He's got time. He's going to fire this one down the middle, and this will be caught inside the 15-yard line. That is a big, big play to Dylan Shively, and that is just what they're looking for. And you see it there, Scoop. Owen Farrell, he's got a cannon back there. That was a nice, accurate pass down to inside the red zone to complete to Shively.
Well, credit his line. He gave him time that time, and that time Farrell was able to step into that. He threw a strike, a nice route that time, right down the chute there by Shively. And Shively, who's had 5 TDs through the airway this year, takes the Rams inside the 10-yard line. First and goal coming up here for the Rams, trying to knot things up early in the second half.
Good for 43 as they'll hand it off to Jimenez, who'll bounce this one to the right side and just nowhere to go. He's smothered up by that Wayne Trace defense as the Rams, again, working inside our Stanball Jewelers red zone. Stanball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, visit Stanball Jewelers in downtown Defiance.
A great surge that time by that Wayne Trace defensive line. That's really, it's not a negative play, but that's a no gain when you're first and goal. So in all practical purposes, it is a negative play there for the Rams. Looking at second and goal from 9 yards out.
Farrell in shotgun formation again. They'll keep this. They'll fake the handoff, and he's got pressure coming. He's going to be dropped back at the 20-yard line, and that is a nice job by Carter Bomley, who's been all over the place tonight, doing a nice job at running back on offense, but doing an even better job tonight from his defensive linebacker spot.
Yeah, I had him for 6 tackles for loss coming into tonight. He's already got 3 here tonight, so great job there. And again, boy, that makes you one-dimensional hurry. That's going to bring up a third and goal now from the 17-yard line.
So we'll see what the Rams will dial up here. Trips to the far sideline to the left of Owen Farrell. Single back in the backfield is Jimenez. And he'll be back to pass. Straight drop, pressure coming. He'll be flushed to his right. All kinds of pressure. He gets away with this one. And, in and out of the hands. And that was defended nicely. I think that was Corbin Varner, the defensive back for Wayne Trace. And, well, he had a beat on that one, Scoop, and just not able to haul it in.
Yeah, that was Varner, the junior, that time. You could see his eyes light up there. That ball was coming in his living room, but couldn't quite secure it. And now a long field goal coming up for the Rams. This will be from 34 yards out. A chance to get some points on the board and start this second half in a positive manner.
Parker Hancock will kick here. Farrell holds. Snap is put down. The kick is on the way. He's got plenty of leg. Wow. That one will go through the uprights, and Tinora gets their first points of the night. It's a 34-yard field goal from Hancock, and the Rams are on the board, trailing Wayne Trace 7-3. 7:44 to go here in our third quarter. We're back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
Stanball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stanball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
Welcome back to Justin Kressel Stadium. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you on week number 7. Tinora on the board now, trailing Wayne Trace 7-3. Oh, Scoop, we talked going into that drive. What a huge spot this was for Tinora. They didn't get the touchdown, but points on the board, 7-3. If nothing else, a little confidence boost to open up this third quarter.
I totally agree. I can't put a premium on how big a kick that was by Parker Hancock. I think if they'd come up empty there, boy, that's a deflator. You moved the football, you had an impressive drive, you went 49 yards, but then you stalled out. But great job by Hancock to bail them out there in that 34-yard field goal. And that thing had plenty of leg on it. That would have been good from 44.
So Hancock will tee this one up at the 40-yard line. Ensuing kickoff here as Wayne Trace will get their first opportunity with the football here in the second half. And this is a high end-over-end kick. It'll be taken at the 14-yard line by one of the up men. across the 20 to the 25 out near the 30-yard line. Another nice return. And I'll tell you what, Scoop, as impressive as the defense has been, special teams tonight, that battle has definitely gone the way of the Wayne Trace Raiders.
It really has. A nice return that time by Corbin Varner. It wasn't anything really open there. He just kind of made some plays there, and Varner's able to take it across the 25-yard line. They're going to spot it at about the, 28-yard line. So decent return that time. And right now, Wayne Trace needs to have an answer. You can't sit on this 7-3 lead. We've got too much football to play. There's too much firepower on that Tinora sideline.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Raiders at their own 28-yard line. Bomley on first down, right side. He's got a hole across the 30. He'll be tripped up out near the 34-yard line. And that'll be a nice, solid run on first down. Again, staying on schedule are the Wayne Trace Raiders.
Yeah, that was huge. You always want to control first down, and that time just a hard, solid run. But you mentioned, Josh, there was a nice hole there. It opened up. And we're going to have a late flag come in here.
So we've got an injured Raider and a late penalty here. We'll see what. I think this is going to be against Tinora. We'll see what the call is here. We look for the white shirt. It's a dead ball penalty, and it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to be against Tinora. That's a huge penalty, Scoop. We saw in the first half they had that personal foul. Now you get an unsportsmanlike conduct here, and that's a 15-yard penalty that's going to move the ball all the way out near midfield.
Yeah, those are the mistakes you just can't make. Again, those are unforced mistakes where you let the emotions get the best of you. And that's going to give Wayne Trace a little breathing room, that extra 15 yards tacked onto that 6-yard run. So a great start here to this opening drive by the Raiders, trying to answer that field goal that the Rams put up just moments ago.
Well, looks like maybe just some cramping down there. As we mentioned earlier, it's cooled off nicely up here, Scoop. It's actually a beautiful night out, but it was definitely a pretty warm night for the first weekend of October. And I think just a little cramping up down there on that side.
Yeah, that's good to see that that's just a cramp. I mean, you can work those out, but sometimes those are cumulative. Once you get them, they start creeping back sooner and sooner thereafter. But again, you know these guys are gonna tell the coach, "Hey, I'm good. Let me in there. I want to help our team win this game."
So it'll be first down and 10 after the penalty at the 49-yard line. Shotgun formation for Clemens. Single back to his right. And it will be a give to Bomley, who's trying to find some space, but the green and white in their, I believe, are those black jerseys tonight? Or dark green? From our vantage point, I can't really tell, but boy, a lot of dark shirts to the football.
Yeah, great penetration up front, and another tackle for loss there by Ram defense. So that's how you overcome adversity. You just made a mistake. You got 15-yard unsportsmanlike, but now you flush it, you come out there, win the next play. And that's going to throw Wayne Trace behind the chains a little bit, but the Raiders have really been poised there with Carter Clemens at the reins. And right now the Raiders trying to, again, answer that impressive march by Tinora that ended in that field goal by Hancock.
Second and 11, they'll give it to Bomley right side. He's going to be hit and dropped immediately. Kobe Bum. How many times have we said that young man's name tonight? Penetrating the gap and dropping Bomley in the backfield for no gain.
Yeah, he's playing hard, and it's so physical down there in the trenches. I'm not sure TV can do it justice, but these guys are getting after it each and every play. And, boy, this has been a grind, Neither team really able to get much cushion here, get much yardage. That Wayne Trace did have, I had them unofficially for 125 yards in that first half. And, again, Tinora just 9. But right now, Raiders looking at a third down and long. They would love to somehow extend this drive, move the ball into Ram territory.
Third and 11. They were very accurate on third down in the first half, especially that first drive. And this pass will fall incomplete. He was looking on that far sideline for Zach Stoller, but nice defensive coverage on that far sideline for the Rams, and they'll force a fourth down in a punting situation here for Wayne Trace.
Yeah, tremendous job. And you're trying to cover a guy like Zach Stoller at 6'7". You've got your work cut out, but good job of getting guys in coverage, kind of rerouting Stoller that time. And after that big penalty for first down, punt coming up.
And the snap is on the ground. This is just a jailbreak to the near sideline, and it'll be out of bounds. And Reese Moorhead just kind of running for his life, Scoop, as that snap was rolled back to him on the ground. He had no choice but to pick it up and run.
Yeah, that time after the snap bounced to him, just kind of made the jailbreak. And if he's left-footed, he can maybe do a rugby-style kick. But when you're running left and you're right-footed kicker and you've got the cavalry coming, boy, he took a shot there. He does get the ball to midfield, but Tinora now with excellent field position, and the Rams with an opportunity to take their first lead of the night.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Tinora at the midfield stripe as Owen Farrell will bring the offense to the line of scrimmage. He'll have trips to the far sideline to his left, and a single back in the backfield behind him is Jimenez. Back to pass. Pocket holds. He's got time. He throws right side, and this will be in and out, and a penalty marker comes in as the receiver battling with the defender there and didn't get his head turned around, Scoop, and little contact will be a pass interference call against Wayne Trace.
Yeah, that's a tough call, and it's too bad because he's actually in excellent shape. But you mentioned it, Josh, the fact he did not turn to look for the football makes that an easy call. There wasn't a ton of contact right there. I think if he just turns his helmet a little bit, it's a no call, but instead, that'll be an automatic first down. So Tinora now has all kinds of momentum on their side of the field, and that 15-yard penalty will take it down to the Raider 35-yard line. And right now, Tinora, this is a different team offensively than we saw in that first half, Josh.
Absolutely. It'll be first down and 10 now, 35-yard line, 5:37 to go in our third quarter. Rams trailing Wayne Trace by a score of 7-3. And as you mentioned it, Scoop, a different look, a different feel to this offense as Jimenez will just try to find some space on that right side, and not much there for him. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down.
Well, Josh, when you say different feel, I think that really sums it up pretty well because I'm not sure that they're doing anything different, but you can see now they are doing a better job as far as sustaining your blocks, giving Farrell some time. And again, this is the Ram team that looks confident. Again, maybe it's more a feel than anything, but boy, just a different looking team than we saw that first half, where again, on their last 5 possessions, they had negative yards.
Well, I mean, would flat be a good word? As we'll get into that here after the play, but Farrell will roll to his left. He's got tons of green space in front of him, and he'll go for the sticks, and he's going to have enough for the first down. That's a heads-up play by the junior quarterback, Owen Farrell. But going back to that, Scoop, flat, and you hear that term in sports a lot, but flat in that first half is kind of a way I would say that you could look at what you saw that Tinora offense.
Yeah, I totally agree because that's a play they would not have made that first half, for one reason or another. It might have been the pursuit there from Wayne Trace on the corners would have been too much. But right now we're seeing a little bit more fight and grit on that Tinora side. That's a huge pickup there by Farrell. As now the Rams looking at third down and a short one just outside the 25-yard line.
And this will be a little sneakery here as the motion man just goes under center. He'll fall forward as they call that in the NFL a tush push, but he didn't get any help from behind. But Scoop, he's going to fall forward to get that first down, move the chains.
Yeah, I like it. Just another different wrinkle there, something to give Wayne Trace to think about. Again, that's a big third down conversion, extends this drive. Right now, the Rams not thinking settle for a field goal. They're trying to find a way to get in that end zone, something they haven't done tonight, but certainly looking good here in the second half from what we've seen in these opening 2 possessions.
4:23 and rolling here, third quarter, 7-3 Wayne Trace. First down and 10 for the Rams at the Raider 24. 2 receivers either side, single back in the backfield, and they'll hand it off to the left side, and I believe the ball's out, the fumble, and we'll see who's going to come up with it on that far sideline. That was Josh Lieb with the football, and that will be the first turnover of the night, and the Tinora Rams will cough that one up. That is a huge momentum killer for the Rams.
Boy, it is. You can see that entire Wayne Trace sideline come to life when that football hit the turf. They're able to pounce on it. And wow, Boy, does that kind of change things off after Tinora had all the momentum, looking like they're going to score in back-to-back possessions. Wayne Trace now will take it, even though they're going to start out at their own 16-yard line.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Wayne Trace at their own 17. But the biggest thing for there is that just stalls out the Tinora drive, and a first down run will gain a few for Wayne Trace. But stalling out that Tinora offense, boy, Scoop, they've had all the momentum here in this third quarter.
Well, they really have. They've been impressive, and we can tell it's a different look, a different feel. They're really clicking, but again, it's getting done in the trenches. We talked about, we thought that probably the main focus from Eric Becker in his third season for the Rams, I know he had to challenge his linemen there at halftime, and certainly give these guys credit. They've taken that challenge in a manly-like effort where they've just really come out. They're leaving everything out there.
It'll be a Bomley on 2nd and 8, and he'll be wrapped up and thrown to the turf. He's going to gain a couple of yards, but nothing more there. Hancock coming in to make the tackle for Tinora up from his safety spot, but this will be another third down and relatively long here, 3rd down and 6 for Wayne Trace.
Yeah, it's great defense that time by the Rams. Again, I like how their guys down in the trenches are getting after it. Liam Bainfield, and of course Abram Jimenez, Nathan Saylor, Carter Radzik. Those guys are earning their pay right now. Huge 3rd down opportunity for the Rams to get off the field.
It'll be a roll to the left and a thrown up football. He just kind of threw that one out, and it was really to no one in particular. Clay Stoller was in the area, but we can see some of the inexperience of Carter Clemens there, just kind of rolled out and just kind of heaved that one up on this near sideline. It'll fall incomplete. And a big stop here for the Rams coming off that fumble.
Well, that's a huge 3 and out. And again, mistakes are part of the game, but don't let one mistake cost the next. Credit the Ram defense. After the offense coughed it up, they get a 3 and out. They held Wayne Trace to just 3 yards there in 3 plays.
And the punt is a high end-over-end kick. Fair catch called for and made at the Wayne Trace 46-yard line. So not a long punt by any means. About 25, Scoop?
Yeah, just over that. So, again, great starting position for the Rams. Again, last 2 drives, they started at the 50-yard line, and now the 46 of Wayne Trace. So another opportunity. If you're Tinora, just keep that offense clicking. They've been able to move the chains this first half after not getting a first down that entire second quarter.
So Owen Farrell back to work here for Tinora. First down and 10 at the Wayne Trace 46-yard line. Pretty standard look. 2 receivers either side. Single back in the backfield behind Farrell. As we are 2:31 and the snap is on the ground, and this is just going to be down by Farrell, and a heads-up play there. That ball kind of rolled back to him, saw the white shirts rolling in, and just took a knee and save and play the next down.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You just got to snake the football, not to give up the turnover, but what that does, throws you off schedule. Right now we'll see if this 3-3 stack of the Raiders can pin Tinora on their own side of the 50-yard line, as the Rams now in their own territory at the 48-yard line, looking at a 2nd down and 16.
They'll break the huddle, come to the line. Shifting guys around a little bit. Lieb in the backfield now behind Owen Farrell. Back to pass is Farrell. He's got all kinds of time now. Pocket collapses. He'll be pushed to this near sideline, looking buying time, and he'll be hit as he throws. And it's complete out of the Wayne Trace 40-yard line. And inside the 35-yard line, Dylan Shively. And a nice job there by Owen Farrell. Credit that young man. Bought the time to allow Shively to get open.
I tell you what, he not only bought time, he borrowed time. He got lit up like a Christmas tree, but nice to see Farrell get up. But how he was able to hang on to that football that long and then throw a strike. Wow, nice to see Farrell trotting out there. What a big play. That's the biggest play of the game right now. We'll see if it continues to feed this momentum of the Rams. They now have a fresh set of downs at the 34-yard line of the Raiders.
Farrell in shotgun formation. He'll hand it off. This is Lieb, who'll be dropped in the backfield, and a nice job there by Lance Whitman to shoot the gap again. And well, these guys are these linebackers from Wayne Trace, they are quick to the hole.
Well, you've got to account for Lance Whitman, again, one of the top players, not just in the GMC, but Northwest Ohio and beyond. And that time, he just came in there and makes a play there. Another negative play, loss of maybe half a yard by the Rams. But again, you're seeing Farrell starting to get some confidence here. We'll see what Tinora has up their sleeve here, looking at 2nd and long.
Under 30 seconds to go, third quarter. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. Back to pass. All kinds of pressure coming. He's flushed out of the pocket to this near sideline. He's got time, and now he's going to be closed on, and he'll be pushed out of bounds near the 35, 36-yard line. He's going to lose a few, Scoop, but I'll tell you what, he ran a country mile over to the elevator and back to lose a couple of yards.
Oh, I tell you what, that's an impressive loss of a couple of yards, because that should have been maybe a sack of about 12, 14 yards deep. Instead, he's able to get back near the line of scrimmage. So great job of Farrell by extending that play. And Wayne Trace has had a hard time containing him here in this third quarter. We've seen him bust off that one run to the left side just when he tucked it away. This time he's able to avoid the sack. And now 3rd and long, which is probably 4-down territory here from the 35-yard line.
12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Farrell back to pass. Pressure coming. He's going to be hit and dropped all the way back near midfield as, again, you know who it is. Jensen Binding shot through, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. What a play by Binding.
He's been tough all night. The sophomore comes up big once again. That time he's able to contain Farrell, and that's a huge sack there. And now on 4th and forever, I think Tinora will probably punt the football away, try to play a little field position right here.
Well, we've played 3. Wayne Trace leads Tinora on homecoming night 7-3. Final 12 minutes coming your way next here on DCTV Sports.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Welcome back to Justin Kressel Stadium. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you as we begin the fourth quarter here. And DCTV Sports, a T-shirt cannon's got a little extra oomph in it tonight, Scoop.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're watching. That thing will take you out, knock you over, but hey, it'll be worth it if you come up with the T-shirt.
Well, as we take a look at our Arthur Law Firm stat tracker, big third quarter there for the Tinora offense, all capped off with that field goal, but the big play for Shively there, 34 yards. Tinora offense started to click in that third quarter.
Yeah, it really is. They just have to avoid those negative plays that have really hurt them tonight. And now they play a little field position. Wayne Trace will fair catch it on their own 20-yard line.
Nice job by Parker Hancock to kind of angle that one off to the side for the punt coverage to get down there. And Wayne Trace will come onto the field here to open up this fourth quarter, leading Tinora 7-3. And well, Scoop, we said it would be more scoring than last year, but as of right now, this has been another defensive battle in this long series between these two teams.
It's just amazing, especially when you look at the numbers coming in. Wayne Trace scoring 22.8 points a game. Tinora scoring 28.7, but yet they've been stymied. And look at the defense. Wayne Trace giving up over 32 points a game. Tinora nearly 30 points a game, yet we're in a 7-3 slugfest here as we start the fourth quarter.
We'll get a false start against Wayne Trace. It's a ServiceMaster Restore penalty, and that'll back up the Raiders 5 yards. And just like that, Scoop, they're going to be behind the chains to start this drive.
Yeah, that's not going to be pleasant talk in the film room come Monday. The fact that just too many penalties. I have them unofficially now for 8 penalties. But again, when your team is struggling to move the football, the last thing you want to do is look at 1st and 15.
It'll be a little misdirection, shovel pass inside to Whitman, and he'll get back across the original line. He's going to gain 7, maybe 8, and a nice job there by Whitman. But Dylan Shively coming up to make the stop. But a nice job, a little different look out of the Wayne Trace offense. We've seen those double handoffs this time, a little shovel pass inside.
Yeah, that's awfully tough to stop when you execute because, again, you have to honor that fake. You can't not honor the fake. If you do, you're going to get bit up. But a nice run that time by Whitman after he takes in the shuffle pass.
Wayne Trace will go quickly to the line, just a little dump pass out of the backfield, and that'll fall short of Clay Stoller, as they were trying to, I think, catch Tinora in maybe a little defensive matchup they liked, but not able to do anything with it.
Yeah, that's a big play by the Rams defense because now it really makes Wayne Trace one-dimensional here at 3rd down and 9. And Tinora defense already with 2 picks tonight, trying to come up big here, trying to get a quick 3 and out and establish some field position for their offense.
3rd down and 8 at the 22-yard line. Snap will roll to the left as Clemens. He's trying to buy time, looking to throw. He reverses, but he's going to be right in the defensive arms. And, boy, just trying to find something here. He's going to heave it down, and this will be pass interference. Yep, and the wide receiver came back to the football. And I don't think that Owen Reynolds, I don't think there was any intent there. But the receiver came back to find that football as Clemens just kind of heaved that one down the field.
Yeah, credit Clemens that time. He did all he could to extend that play. Looked like he might get sacked inside his own 10-yard line. Then he realized, hey, it's 3rd and long. I'm just going to throw a deep ball. If it's intercepted, it's as good as a punt. And that time, even better, they draw the interference call against the sophomore Owen Reynolds. And that'll be a huge 3rd down conversion via the penalty. But that'll keep that Wayne Trace offense out on the field.
10:58 to go in the ball game, and again, not giving Tinora an opportunity here, Scoop. And also, they were pinned back pretty deep off that punt. Now they're getting a little bit more breathing room field position-wise.
Well, that's the 4th 15-yard penalty by the Rams tonight. So those are things that are hard to overcome. But fortunately for Tinora, you're just 4 points down. So defense needs to make a couple plays. Our offense is starting to gel a little bit.
Bomley on 1st down will go left side, and he'll be hit as he goes out near the 40-yard line and just gang tackled by a whole host of Rams.
This is what Wayne Trace likes to do. You know, they like to control that time possession. They try to get those 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That time on cue, they get 3 yards on 1st down to bring up 2nd 7. And what that does, it just kind of shortens the game down. And right now with 10:44 to go. You imagine the Rams are going to get at least 2 more possessions, but if you're Wayne Trace, you want to try to limit as much as you can, sustain a long drive here.
2nd down and 7 at the 40-yard line, and trying to figure out what.
I think they had a play clock issue, so they've put 25 seconds on. I think on the whistle, they will run the clock.
And the clock has already started. Oh, no, they're resetting some time. Excuse me. They reset a couple of seconds on that time. Now it's going to spin. Here we go. 10.5 to go in the ball game. Shotgun, as this will be a run to the left side, and a nice job to come up and make the stop is Josh Lieb, as Carter Clemens design run to that left side, and just nowhere to go with Josh Lieb bearing down.
Yeah, great play by Josh Lieb, and Carter Clemens, boy, he's going to feel that for a little while. As that time he took a lick down there low. And again, another tackle for loss here by this Ram defense. So they're starting to emerge here a little bit. That's been the trouble with both offenses tonight. We've seen promises, but then there's always those negative plays and those penalties that made it awfully tough to really string together a nice long drive.
3rd down and 8. Clemens back to pass. He'll throw this one down for the left side, and this will be battled for. It'll fall incomplete, as a lot of contact on that far sideline. No call on the penalty. I think it's a good no call, and let him go for the football.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great no call. I thought Tinora had great position there, and also the Rams had really 3 guys in the coverage. And we saw Clemens that time just try to put everything he could underneath it. And again, one of those things on 3rd down, if they intercept it, ends up being good as a punt. If you get the big play, you'll take it. That falls incomplete. Now the Raiders will punt it away from about their 30-yard line here when it's all said and done.
Reese Moorhead will stand back, and the snap low again. It hits him in the chest. He's going to be able to get this one off barely. And that will, I don't even know how this happened, Scoop. That will go inside the Tinora 30-yard line, and a ball that hit the ground, hit him in the chest, and somehow he managed to punt that ball out of there.
That might be the play of the ball game right there. Somehow, not only did he avoid maybe a loss of 10, he gets a 33-yard punt with no return. I mean, you talk about flipping the field. Boy, that's a huge play. That could have easily have been a sack, a block punt. Somehow he kind of kicked it underneath the penetration of the Rams. And I'm not sure how that rolled as far as it did, but by the time the dust settles, that ball is just inside the 29-yard line of Tinora.
Yeah, that I mean, sign him up for a magic show.
Oh, my goodness. I just can't believe he got that off. Yeah, I thought it might hit one of the linemen. You know, that thing never got head high, but somehow it found a crease, it found a seam down the middle. Well, that's a huge play that gives Wayne Trace defense a little bit better field position starting out against this Ram offense.
Trips to the left for Owen Farrell, back in shotgun formation. He'll drop back, rolls to his left, pressure coming, and he will throw this one to the near sideline. And this one will be hauled in by Josh Lieb, and he is sure to secure that one after a couple of uncharacteristic drops earlier in the game, and he'll haul that one in and good enough for a Rams first down.
Yeah, that's an incredible play by the junior, Josh Lieb. He knew exactly where that sideline was and just kind of tiptoed it, got his feet in. And once again, how about Owen Farrell? He's really looking sharp here, I think, in his second half, Josh. He's had a lot more time. He looks a lot more confident. And right now, a big first down for the Rams, trying to take their first lead of the night.
Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, and a single back in the backfield. It'll be a handoff up the middle. This will be Hattemer with it. He'll be hit immediately and dropped. And guess who it was? Lance Whitman shooting the gap once again, and he met Hattemer at the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to give him a yard or two, but another nice job defensively by Lance Whitman.
Boy, it really was. And most teams try to run away from Lance Whitman. I think Tenora's doing the same thing, but that's easier said than done. He just has a nose for the football. And again, he's kind of got the reins out there to make his own stunts and his own blitzes. Boy, he's been lights out. That's a huge play right there. And second and a long 8, call it 9 here coming up for Tinora.
Trips to the right again for Farrell, who stands in shotgun formation. He'll roll that way. Pressure comes. He will run away from Bomley. He'll tuck it down, and he'll run out of bounds after a gain of about a yard. But again, credit the Wayne Trace coverage downfield, Scoopy. As much as it didn't look like he had time to throw that football. He just didn't have anywhere to go with it.
I totally agree. If you have the view that we do from upstairs here, I mean, their secondary, I've been impressed. Not only is their position excellent, but they get good reads. They've got good speed. And Tinora, those are plays Tinora usually has had success on this year, and there's just no place to throw the football for Farrell. So great stop by that Raider defense. And this is a huge third down for Tinora. This is not 4-down territory, I believe, at your own 44-yard line.
Trips to the left this time for Farrell as pressure will come. They'll send the blitz, and he's got all kinds of white shirts. He's running for his life back at the 20. 2 men pursuing him. He's going to be pushed out of bounds near the 22-yard line. I don't think that football got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to say it did. It went out of bounds, but well, that was close to not getting back to the original line of scrimmage, Scoop.
Well, that was close, and Farrell, to his credit, he's done that all night. He usually knows exactly where that is, but I'm not sure it made it.
It didn't. We've got a Service Master restore penalty. That's intentional grounding on Owen Farrell, and that will be a spot foul and a loss of down. So it'll be now 4th down back at the 29, 30-yard line. So that's a huge, huge penalty there against Farrell. He just, I mean, I like what he was trying to do. He's trying to save the down, save the yards, but you got to get the football back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, tonight he's been on the run. He's had to do that shuffle pass out of bounds, but that time when you're that far behind the chains, you have to be that baseball player that he is and just kind of unload one. So a huge break there for Wayne Trace, who now should get great starting position.
They'll bring pressure on Hancock, who booms another punt. And this will be taken over the shoulder back inside the 40-yard line. Now all kinds of green space on that far sideline across the 40. And that is a huge return again for Wayne Trace. And they got penalty markers coming in late. A couple of penalty markers coming in late.
Yeah, that time markers coming in from all over, and that penalty happened about the midfield stripe. But once again, looked like maybe Parker Hancock outkicked the coverage nearly 40 yards on that punt. An impressive catch and return, but I think it's all going to come back.
Yeah, that was a illegal block against Dwayne Trace, so that'll march this one all the way back. And you said this earlier in the first half, Scoop. Wayne Trace saw something on film. They've done everything they can to get those punt returns to the left side, to the right side of that Tinora squad. They've obviously saw something because there's a lot of green when they get over there.
I agree, and right now that's the difference in this ball game, because that first nifty return off that left sideline set up that first score where the Raiders had a first down at the Tinora 31-yard line, but the penalty this time was seen by several of the officials, and this will give the Raiders a first down at their own 35-yard line as we approach the 8-minute mark of this one.
First down at 10, 35-yard line, 8:07 to go, 7-3 Wayne Trace. And it'll be Whitman with it as he'll go left side. He's going to be hit in the backfield and dropped. Trying to fight for some yards back there, but nice job by Tinora to bottle him up and keep him from somebody grabbed a hold of his leg. I couldn't see who was in the middle of that, but just grabbing a hold of his leg and holding on for dear life.
That's a huge stop. You know, Whitman's kind of been the workhorse tonight. Coming in, he did not have a lot of reps back there. I know he missed a couple games early with an injury, but boy, he's been lights out here tonight. But to hold him to no yards there in first down, well, that's awfully big. And once again, Wayne Trace just really struggling here to move the chains and to get any type of first down or momentum going offensively.
7.5 and rolling in the ball game. Baumley in motion, and we're going to have another penalty, another service master restore penalty, and this is another false start on Wayne Trace. And I'm not sure if that back judge is seeing something in that line. I don't know if the center is moving the football a little bit too much or what, but he's called several of those false start penalties tonight.
Well, as a player, you've got to make that adjustment. They've made it clear that they're going to call that, so you have to clean things up, and you have to recognize how this game's going to be called. And I think this is never an easy game to call, but I think these guys tonight have done a tremendous job. They've been very consistent with their calls, both sides, and really let the players dictate the outcome here tonight.
Motion from that far sideline. We got another penalty, and this is another false start against Wayne Trace. And they just continue to be their own worst enemy here, Scoop, as first and 10, now second and 15, second and 20 now, and they're going the wrong way.
Yeah, and right now, field position is huge. Even if you don't put points on the board if you're Wayne Trace, what you want to do is try to pin Tinora deep. But right now, this drive is going in reverse. Right now, after consecutive penalties, second and 10 coming up here for Wayne Trace, and now the ball spotted right on their 25-yard line.
Shotgun formation, empty backfield for Clemens, and it'll be Whitman off the left side, and he'll fall forward for a couple of yards. And to further that point, Scoop, the last few punts for Wayne Trace have not exactly been clean. As you remember, the last one, it was that miracle. The one before that, he ran for his life to get back to midfield, but they've had some snap troubles the last couple of punts. So,
well, you're right. They've had a couple of snaps that you almost need the fair catch. They were so high. They've had a couple that have short hopped back to the punter. So again, you're kind of holding your breath here, Wayne Trace. If you do get to that punt scenario, right now, not looking good here, as we've got third down and 17 coming up after the timeout.
Had a little, I think it was just some cramping on that far sideline again. I think it might have been Whitman that came limping off of there. We'll see.
Well, if it's Whitman coming off, it's his first time he's come off the field tonight. He's just been a workhorse out there. And again, we knew he would be, certainly a premier player. And this has been a physical game. And, boy, he's taken some shots, but he's also dealt out more than his fair share here tonight as well.
6.5 to go in the ball game. Wayne Trace leading Tinora 7-3. Looking at a third down and 17 with trips on the right of Clemens, and they will bring motion, a little toss sweep, and this will be to the right side. More penalty markers are thrown. I think that was Corbin Varner, the ball carrier, but this is in the area of holding, and that's what it's going to be. Interesting to say Tenora's going to decline this one, so interesting to see. This will bring up 4th down and 17.
Yeah, I was curious to see what Tenora's going to do because we talked about field position, but I like the idea of make these guys punt. They've had their struggles. You're going to get great field position, I think, regardless. And we'll have an official's timeout for an injury.
We'll take a timeout with them. 7-3 Wayne Trace, 6:17 to go in the ball game. We're back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Welcome back to Justin F. Caressel Stadium. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you. Week number 7. Scoop, can you believe it's week number 7 already?
I can't. Not when we're standing out here in a short sleeve shirt and no jacket in sight. Just tremendous weather, and what a tremendous atmosphere, tremendous facility here at Tinora High School, as both sides have been treated to really a slugfest here tonight. We talked about the last 3 games of this series, Josh, have been within a touchdown, and tonight I think we're heading for a 4th straight here as we have a 7-3 game, neither team able to really move the football much offensively. And right now, Wayne Trace, special teams, it's been a struggle point as far as kicking the football. And right now, they're going to punt one away from about their own 20-yard line coming up.
Josh Lieb was the injured Tinora Ram as he walks off to the sideline at his own power, so good to see that. And you're right, Scoop, this is a tough situation for Wayne Trace because you've now got an opportunity to.
And I would think Tinora is probably going to send a lot of guys here trying to put a lot of heavy pressure here on the Raiders.
Well, you got 8 men on the line, and they're going to come after it, and they almost get to him. This is a high, short kick. It'll be taken about midfield, and this will be run up all the way to the Wayne Trace 40-yard line. That is a tremendous return there by Owen Reynolds, and well, I'll tell you what, that was a lucky, again, to get that one off. He had all kinds of pressure in his face, but just a short kick, fielded well and returned well by Tinora.
Well, you know, we've had a lot of great plays tonight, and perhaps that one there from Owen Reynolds, that might be the top play now. The fact that he caught that on the run near the sideline, he's able to take it all the way down the Wayne Trace 40-yard line. Great penetration that time by the Rams. Great job of getting the punt off that time by the Raiders, as it looked like Moorhead was under duress. He just missed getting that one blocked, but a nifty return there by Reynolds has given Tinora some new life here.
Trips to the right and 2 receivers, and we're going to have a false start as Parker Hancock shifted a little bit from his wide receiver spot, so another Service Master restored penalty. And, boy, I tell you, either one of these coaches will get in looking at the film, Scoop, and I don't imagine anybody's going to be too happy about all the penalty markers here tonight.
Well, and the penalties really kind of stick out when you're struggling to move the football, as both teams have here tonight. So, you know, but again, you don't expect this many penalties week 7. Boy, this may be a season high, I think, for both teams. I think they're now each in double digits tonight with penalties.
5 receivers set for Farrell, who stands in shotgun formation. Back to pass, just a 3-man rush. He'll be flushed to his right. He's got all kinds of time, and then he decides to throw, but it's behind Parker Hancock. And, boy, I think he had 2 options there, Scoop. He had a lot of green grass in front of him, but I think he saw Parker Hancock start to make a little separation. Just didn't throw the football where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that's too bad, because that's one of the few times tonight when Farrell's had time that he didn't deliver. And that time, you're right. I think he really had the RPO there. He could have tucked away, ran, also had an open receiver. But, again, that time just wasn't where it needed to be. So ends up being an incomplete pass. 2nd and 15 now coming up. And I think from here on out, certainly 4-down territory for the Rams, even though we still got plenty of time with nearly 6 to go.
All kinds of pressure as he completes to the near sideline to Reynolds. He's going to break 2 tackles on the 30-yard line, 25-yard line before he goes out of bounds. And that's a nice job by Owen Reynolds, the sophomore receiver. Yards after catch, Scoop. You talked about that, the yak. And what a nice job there to make a couple of guys miss, break a couple tackles.
Yeah, that's awfully huge. You know, we talked about yards just being a premium for both teams here tonight. And that time, a nice pitch and catch, but that time Reynolds just able to make a couple guys miss. He makes them pay, and right now a fresh set of downs at the Wayne Trace 21-yard line.
So it'll be first down and 10. Again, 5 receivers set, 4 receivers to the right. Farrell will roll that way. Pressure coming from the backside, and he will be hit and dropped back at the 30-yard line. Monster pursuit for Wayne Trace that time from the backside.
How about the senior quarterback, Carter Clemens, coming in there and making a sack. So big-time play that time. And that's kind of been the story of the night, I think, Josh, for both teams. You know, they've had so many tackles for loss or penalties. And, again, to win football games, the goal is always to get 4 yards or more in each play. You do that half the time, you're going to win practically every game you ever play. But when you have those plays where you only gain a yard, you gain 2, you get negative plays, boy, that's tough to overcome. And right now, Tinora, though, just one big play away from taking their first lead of the night as we have 5:20 to go in this one. And this has been a dandy, as we've mentioned before, the 54th meeting between these two rivals.
Second down and 19 after the sack. Trips to the left. Farrell back to pass. He goes right side. It'll be hauled in at the original line of scrimmage. That's Dylan Shively with it. So give him 9 on the completion, but just a nice job, Scoop, running a very sharp route and an accurate throw.
Well, you're right. That was a great out route that time by Shively, and I like the call that time from Tinora mentor Eric Becker, the fact that, hey, let's just get the ball out quick. We know the pressure's coming. They're starting to send those middle linebackers. Let's do a quick out. That time they get good yardage. And, again, you're in 4-down territory. You're not thinking field goal here, down 4 here with 5 minutes to go. So right there they get a good chunk. Now they've got 2 plays to get 10 yards.
Third down and 10. Empty backfield, Farrell, pressure coming. He'll elude the rush, rolls to his left. 2 white shirts trailing him. He's going to throw this one. It'll be in and out of the hands, as that was a great defensive play for Wayne Trace. Clay Stoller came up and timed his hit on Parker Hancock exactly at the time the ball came.
Yeah, that was a great execution by both teams. Once again, like we've seen all night, Farrell, he should be running cross country. Actually, he is, because he's ran more than a country mile or 2 here tonight. That time under duress, he throws a strike, but you mentioned it, Stoller timed that perfect, and that takes away what would have been a big play there by the Rams.
It's going to force a Tinora timeout here on this 4th down. We'll take it with him. 4:53 to go in the ball game. 7-3 Wayne Trace. We're back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit SuperiorCU.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
Welcome back to Justin Kressel Stadium. Big call here for Tinora on this 4th down, Scoop, where offense has been at a premium here tonight with 4:53 to go. This is potentially what could be the end of this ball game if you can't convert here.
Yeah, right now Tinora certainly has their backs to the wall, but again, they've got good field position here. They need that big conversion here on 4th and 10, but even if you don't get it, you got a defense that's playing really well. You've got the wind at your back, so force a 3 and out. Wayne Trace has had struggles punting the football. So, again, I don't think it's all or none yet, but certainly a big play for this Wayne Trace defense and this Tinora offense. As Tinora right now, again, they've been behind the 8 ball all night. This is close as they've been to perhaps taking a lead here tonight.
4 receivers to the left for Farrell. He's looking that way. He's going to sling it across the middle, and it'll be caught to Shively. This is going to go into the end zone for a West Benko touchdown as Dylan Shively goes 21 yards from Owen Farrell.
Yeah, how about Shively that time stepping up for his 6th TD reception of the season. And how about Farrell under duress, 4th down, stays in there and comes up clutch there in crunch time. And how about that? Tinora has their first lead of the night at 9-7.
It's a 21-yard touchdown reception for Dylan Shively from Owen Farrell, and a West Benko touchdown as we have an injured Wayne Trace Raider at the goal line. Let's take a quick timeout before this point after. 9-7 Tinora. We're back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Welcome back to Tinora High School as the Rams get their first lead of the night pending this point after here. Dylan Shively, Scoop, did a nice job of finding that open spot in the Wayne Trace defense and just kind of sat in the zone there. Owen Farrell recognized it, found him, and touchdown strike.
Yeah, he was wide open, and you talked about off-air, Josh. We thought it was just kind of a matter of time for they connected. I wasn't sure it would take this long for them to connect, but that's a credit to both teams. Wayne Trace's defense had been stellar, but that time, the first time they blinked tonight, the Rams capitalized, and now the Rams trying to make it a 3-point game with the point after.
Well, Parker Hancock, who drilled that 34-yard field goal early in the game, will come on here for the point after. As Farrell will hold. Snap is there. Kick is almost blocked, but it'll be through the uprights and good. And Tinora will tack on the point after, and they will take a 10-7 lead, their first one of the night. And it comes at the 4:45 mark in the fourth quarter. Well, Scoop, go back to that punt return from Owen Reynolds. Coming up, run on the run. And not the easiest drive that Tenora's had, but they stuck with it, converted, got that big fourth down touchdown.
Well, Josh, I've been really impressed. I know this has been an ugly game as far as I'm sure both coaches are going to recognize in the films as far as the penalties and negative plays, but I've really been impressed with Tinora, a team that's just 2-4 right now, who has struggled all night long, but yet how many big plays have we seen from the Rams here tonight? You know, certainly that big return, as you've mentioned, but also, how about right there, the nice pitch and catch there on 4th down and 10. And Tinora right now trying to do the improbable here, trying to come from behind after really struggling for 3.5 quarters to move the football. They connect on that big play and have their first lead of the evening.
We'll get the ensuing kickoff here, and to be honest, the Wayne Trace offense has not really moved the ball well all night, but especially here in this second half, they've got their work cut out with them here with 4:45 to go in the ball game as Parker Hancock will tee it up at the 40-yard line. And it's a low line drive kick. It'll be taken inside the 10-yard line, and they'll set up the return to that left side again before he's drilled out by the 20-yard line. And a nice job coming up to make the special teams tackle. That is Zayden Ort, a freshman, getting down there on special teams. And, well, that's a nice job by limiting that return. And this will be a long field here for the Wayne Trace offense.
Well, that's huge because in this second half, Josh, that has been the Wayne Trace offense, the return game. And that time they've got stymied. Great coverage that time. Everybody stayed in their lanes. Nobody over pursued. And you're right, the Raiders looking at a long field. They're going to start out 78 yards away from retaking the lead.
Trips to the right for quarterback Carter Clemens, who will roll that way, looking to throw. He's going to tuck it down to run, and he's got nowhere to go. He turns it back upfield, and he's going to get maybe a yard, but just absolutely nowhere to go.
And right now, the Tinora defense, boy, they're just really coming to play. You know, they're flying the football. They're really getting ugly down there in the trenches. They've been so physical. And that time, Clemens trying to foul a block, trying to get some positive yards. No gain there. Brings up 2nd and 10 as we hit the 4-minute mark.
Well, check that. I believe we have a new quarterback in. Yeah, that's Reese Moorhead, who's been the punter here tonight. He's in at quarterback, and he's going to tuck this one down to run. He's across the 25. He's got the first down at the 30. cuts it back at the 40. Now he'll go across the 45 before he's finally brought down out near midfield by Dylan Shively. But yeah, check that scoop. We've got Reese Moorhead, the 5'9" sophomore, in at quarterback now for Wayne Trace. And what may be a little spark here is they'll get the first down out near midfield.
Yeah, great job there by Moorhead, who's been their starting quarterback more times than not this season. But that time he was able to kind of cut it back against the grain on what looked like was going to be a coverage sack. He turns that into a Raider first down near midfield.
So first down and 10 as Moorhead will roll to his left, looking to throw. He's got a man wide open inside the 25, and it's caught. This is Stoller with it at the 20, stiff arm at the 15. He'll be wrapped up and thrown down at about the 10-yard line, and that is the big man, Zach Stoller, down there, and that is a huge completion all the way inside our Stanball Jewelers red zone.
How about Stoller? He was wide open down there. I think he had 15 yards of separation. He had to wait to catch that football, but then he made some tremendous moves to make a Ram miss, and he's able to get a lot of yards after the catch and some big yak yards. All of a sudden, in a couple plays, the Raiders have a first down at the Tinora 11-yard line as we're into the 3-minute mark.
Well, Reese Moorhead has sparked this offense here in the fourth quarter, and they will just take it to the right side, a designed run. He'll be smacked down outside the 14-yard line, and a nice job there by Parker Hancock to come up from his safety spot. Also Dylan Shively in there for Tinora, and that'll be a loss of a yard.
Oh, that's a big play there by the senior Parker Hancock coming up there, and again, another negative play. You know, you've got a first down and 11. Stay on schedule. Get your 3 yards. Stay ahead of the chains, but once again, a big play by that Ram defense. That's going to bring up a second down 11 now for Wayne Trace as we get closer and closer to that 2-minute mark.
Raiders trail by 3 as the Rams just took their first lead of the night as Moorhead stands in shotgun formation. He's Bomley, and that'll be the handoff. It'll go up the middle, just nowhere to go. He's going to be maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it as he is driven backwards. As a couple of big bodies coming off the bottom of that pile for Tinora.
Well, you'd almost think that's going to be the last running play of the night there for Wayne Trace. Just no place to go through that Ram defense who's just been outstanding, especially down there in the trenches, down in the middle. And now third down 11 coming up here for Wayne Trace. Remember, a field goal would tie it, but right now you're at the 13-yard line. You would be kicking into a wind as well.
It looks like Raiders going to burn a timeout. You got 3. You can't take them with you. So they'll take one here. 1:20 to go in the ball game. And we have a timeout. Wayne Trace will take it with them. We're back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
WestBanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused WestBanco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Welcome back to Justin F. Caressel Stadium. This is a huge couple of downs here. 1:20 to go in the ball game, and well, Scoop, if I would have said, hey, Wayne Trace is going to go 80 yards in about 3 plays, they haven't gotten 80 yards in 13 plays, and it's credit to a lot of things here tonight, but their offense has not really moved the ball exceptionally well. Neither offense really has moved the ball exceptionally well outside of the last 3 minutes.
Well, Wayne Trace, the second half, I don't think they had 40 yards until they started out this drive, and certainly a lot of that's been Reese Moorhead coming in and directing traffic here, but now facing a tough third down and 11.
And the Rams will defend the pass into the corner, and this is a jump ball, and waiting for the signal. They're going to say out of bounds. That was a nice job of hauling that in. I think he caught it just out of bounds. And he trying to see who the intended man was over there, but I'll tell you what, Scoop, that was almost 6 points there, and I think they were looking for Zach Stoller at this 6'7" frame, but defended by Tinora, kind of kept him to that sideline, no room to get the feet down.
Yeah, they did a fade route that time to the big man, and you saw the Wayne Trace sideline kind of jump up and down. They thought they had the 6 points, but instead he came down out of bounds. So right now, looks like Wayne Trace will try to tie things up with a long field goal from 30 yards out.
This will be 81 for the attempt. This is Jensen Beining, and we've got another timeout, Wayne Trace. They're going to think about this one. That'll be a 30-yard attempt. Jensen Beining was coming on to check that, to try that point or the field goal. So a minute 12 to go here. Do you like the? I mean, you go for the tie. I mean, fourth down and 11. I mean,
he knows his team better than I do. I don't like putting a kicker in this spot at this level. You know, I want the loss or the win. Or if we're going to lose, I want the loss to be on me as a coach. So I'm the kind of guy, I'm going to roll the dice, and they can get on me if we don't convert in 4th and 11. But certainly he's got a lot of confidence in Binding. We know Binding's got a good leg, so certainly it's easy to sit anywhere and second-guess things. But, boy, this will be a tough field goal in this situation. He's going into a little bit of a breeze, maybe 6-7 mile an hour right now. But, again, the long snap game has not been pretty here for Wayne Trace tonight, but this will be just inside of 30 yards here if he can connect.
So they'll put it down right about the 19. Snap is there. The kick is on the way, and it's going to be short. And I don't know if it was partially blocked, but that will fall short with 1:07 to go. Tinora will take over, and with just one Wayne Trace timeout remaining, that'll be just about all she wrote here tonight as the Rams come from behind and find a little offense here in this late in the ball game to pull out the victory.
Yeah, this is going to be a good script here for Tinora. If they can hang on here, just go to victory formation and take a few knees. But again, you got homecoming night here. It wasn't pretty. They were completely dominated that first half, only had one first down. That came on the second play of the game. But yet they found a way to regroup, come out here, and not only win the second half, but do it in style as they've outscored Wayne Trace 10-0 here. So again, the offense found just enough in the tank, but the defense, that's been the difference here tonight, Josh. They really have done a stellar job. And right now they're in victory formation. I expect Wayne Trace to burn their final timeout, but the Raiders just kind of out of hopes right now.
And Farrell will just put a knee on it back at the 15-yard line, and Wayne Trace will burn that final timeout. Well, if you're looking at either one of these teams here tonight, Scoop, though, let's take a look at this from the Wayne Trace side. You come in here, not exactly where you want to be on this 2025 season, but you know they've had some tough games against some really good opponents. They get the win against Edgerton a couple of weeks ago, and you come in here tonight against Tinora, and I think everybody expected a slugfest, but well, the Raiders have played as hard as anybody here tonight and made this another close game in this series.
Well, I totally agree. I think Coach Matt Holden deserves a lot of credit. I thought their game plan was really solid coming in. Their guys not only came in here prepared, but they came in here expecting to win, and that's not easy to do. We mentioned since the turn of a century, Tinora 23-3 against Wayne Trace. You got to go back 20 years. September 17th, 2005, the last time that Wayne Trace was able to get a victory here in Jewel. And even though they had in their grasp tonight, they're going to come up a little bit short. And now the winning streak against Wayne Trace will go to 7 games now for Tinora, but they had to earn it, and they had to go the distance here tonight.
It was a 3-point game last year at Wayne Trace. That overtime field goal, a 3-point game here tonight in Tinora. And Rams will come up and, again, get into victory formation here. I think it should be second. The scoreboard is reading first down, but it should be second down at about 15. As Farrell will take the snap and just put a knee on it, so they'll.
And right now, just one knee away from closing this one out. So an impressive come from behind homecoming win here for Tinora. And this is huge. Tinora, again, they're a team that still controls their own destiny. They have one loss, which is a game back of Paulding, who still is undefeated. But they still have Paulding on their schedule down the road. So a big win here for Tinora, not just for the league, but also as far as playoff points. They will leapfrog Wayne Trace and creep closer to getting one of those 12 playoff berths in Division 6, Region 22.
Well, that final knee will do it here as they'll reset the timer, and the final seconds will tick away. Final score tonight from Justin F. Kressel Stadium. Tinora come from behind win 10-7 over Wayne Trace. Stick around. Our postgame show is next.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. Stamball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stamball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Welcome back to Justin F. Kressel Stadium. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller with you as Tinora comes from behind tonight to knock off Wayne Trace by a final score of 10-7 as we get you set with our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Keep your eyes healthy for a long life of clear vision. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center, Stadium Drive in Defiance. And we'll take a look as we recap the scoring here tonight. It all started, Wayne Trace got things on the board in the second quarter. Lance Whitman, a 3-yard touchdown run. The point after was good. They led 7-0, and that was it for the first half. And then Tinora would get a 34-yard field goal to kind of start off that third quarter to cut the lead 7-3. What a big field goal that became as they would come back at the 4:45 mark at the end of the game. And Dylan Shively, a 20-yard touchdown reception from Owen Farrell on 4th down and I believe 10. 4th and 10 or 4th and 11, and that's the go-ahead score as that Tinora touchdown put the Rams up 10-7. As we take a look at some of our stats from this game here tonight, and unofficial stats, we don't have a lot of light up here, so we didn't get much tonight, but Arthur Law Firm Stat Tracker, if a serious injury from a car crash puts you in the injured list, call the professional injury attorneys at Arthur Law Firm, serving Northwest Ohio for more than 50 years. Scoop, anything stand out to you stat-wise here tonight? I know you were kind of tracking a couple of things, and boy, the negative plays and the penalties, I think you don't want to talk about the negative, but this was not a clean game on either side of the football here tonight. There's some stuff that the coaches are going to be looking to clean up.
Well, you're right. And a lot of that was when you have two teams competing this hard, you know, they're so physical down there in the trenches. You know, both teams kind of turned this into an ugly game. You know, we knew Wayne Trace wanted to try to control time possession. First half, they did a great job of doing that. But then that Tinora defense, I thought, Josh, stepped up in that second half. Other than a couple first downs with penalties, Wayne Trace was not able to move the football until that long burst there. First, the run from Reese Moorhead coming off the bench there as a quarterback, and then that big connection down the 11-yard line. But once again, the Ram defense, they had their backs to the wall. They came up big. So I think the biggest stat tonight was just the defense. And credit to Coach Becker. I thought they made some good in-game adjustments there at halftime. Their defensive approach really stymied Wayne Trace in that second half. It was just a matter of time before you connected on that big play, and that 4th down and 10 there for that touchdown was obviously the difference in the game. But again, a game where we saw so many big plays, and you mentioned it, Josh. Boy, I thought that 34-yard field goal in the first possession of the second half from Parker Hancock, that was huge. You know, if they come up empty there, I really think it's a different game. But when it comes down to these one-possession games, you have to like Tinora because they've got that strong kicker in Parker Hancock. And, of course, last year we saw that with Jacob Bishop. That was a difference in that 3-0 overtime win at Wayne Trace a year ago. So what a weapon to have on your side, especially when things get tough. But congratulations to the Rams. Boy, they had to earn this one, and it took the entire 48 minutes to get it done.
Final score again tonight, Tinora, your winner 10-7. Stick around, we're going to wrap up our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show after this.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Welcome back to our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Josh Bush, Scoop Miller putting the wraps on things here at Justin F. Kressel Stadium for Wayne Trace. They're going to fall to 2-5, 2-2 in the Green Meadows Conference. Next week they will be on the road at Antwerp. They'll be looking to rebound. That'll be another tough game for Wayne Trace in a county rivalry.
I tell you what, the GMC is so good this year. We've seen so many teams battle. These games aren't won on paper, so you got to show up and get it done. Credit both these teams tonight. I thought they left it all out there. Certainly not a pretty game. The coaches are going to talk about it in the film sessions, but Tenora's got to be pleased with the win. Wayne Trace gave it all they had, came up a little bit short. But again, a huge win for Coach Becker and company. The fact that not only do they keep their GMC hopes alive, but they also really kind of solidify themselves to get one of those playoff berths coming up, something the Rams have been used to doing here time in, time out.
Well, they'll improve to 3-4, now 3-1 in the Green Meadows Conference. Next Friday night, our broadcast game will be the River Rivalry, Scoop, as Tinora will head across the river to take on the Ayersville Pilots. And again, it's a squad over at Ayersville not having the season that they would like to, but, you know, all things are out the window when these two teams get together.
There's no question about it. I'll guarantee you that's going to be a tough game, and certainly Tinora knows that going in. They'll feel good about this one for 24 hours, but then they're going to need to regroup. They're going to need to find a way to clean some things up if they want to get it done in the River Rivalry.
Well, final score again tonight. Tinora wins it by a final score of 10-7. I want to say a big thanks to Jake Essig and the entire crew here at Tinora High School. They were very hospitable. We appreciate it. Actually enjoyed our perch up here, Scoop. This is a nice vantage point high atop the press box.
This is a great place to watch a game, and we couldn't have doubted any nicer tonight. Temperature right now feels like it's in the 60s here, and again, just a beautiful stadium, great facility, great host here at Tinora, and we thank them for the pleasure of getting the call game here.
And appreciate the Frickers downstairs, too. We appreciate that. But 1975 class reunion was here tonight, and the Rams will take a little Friday night victory to the homecoming dance tomorrow night. Always a good thing to win on homecoming.
Well, you always got a little more extra hop in your step during that homecoming dance when you're coming off a win, so they'll take it. You'd rather have an ugly win than a pretty loss anytime.
Final score again tonight from Tinora. Rams a winner by a final score of 10-7. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV.